Welcome to TikTok, 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 baby, TikTok, baby, TikTok, baby, TikTok, baby. I just want to say this, right? This is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. You know, I was listening to this guy today, right? And I'm gonna say his name because I really enjoyed what he was talking about. And basically what he was doing, y'all, he was speaking knowledge. He was speaking, come on up, OG. I was hoping you came over. He was speaking knowledge and wisdom, right? And like OG, and I gotta say this about OG, because OG better understand me than a lot of other people. But this brother was basically speaking everything. What's up, bro? That I be talking about, to y'all. And I think basically because of his tone and the way he was coming, but he meets with oppositions too, right? Mainly when it comes to talking about helping and motivating, encouraging our people. And he was sharing his stories too, like some of the trauma and stuff he went through, why he do what he do, and helping our people. But it was the way he was bringing it. And I sat there, and I'm talking about ghosts, blah. I'm talking about ghosts, OG. And I'm telling you, I wasn't saying nothing because he was like ministering to my spirit. And when I did talk, and y'all got to understand this, and I don't understand why people get offended. But when I talk, I don't just talk. I will tell you what I'm doing to help make a difference with any issues or crises that we're dealing with. Where I realize for some reason it offends a lot of people. And I can sit here and tell you everything Strengthen the Community do and the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope do to empower, to improve other people's lives. And I will hear you go back to the same things about what we need to do, what we do. Blah, 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 blah. I just told you. Well, basically, I'm sharing with you because I'm trying to get you out of that mindset of always talking about what we can do when somebody is right here telling you what they're actually doing to improve people's lives. And what that showed me, y'all, how a lot of us is so stuck, how a lot of us is so oppressed, how a lot of us are with that slave mind mentality. And then we want to turn around and point the fingers at other people rather than looking at ourselves. And how we can prove, you have to improve your own life first. You have to improve your life before you can actually go and help others better their lives. And I didn't understand that early on, y'all. Now, mind you, I'm in the 12-step program. So a lot of the stuff that I learned through this process, you have to listen to learn and learn to listen. Because once you listen to learn and you begin to learn something different, you can always take it and apply it to make your life better. Right? Listen to what I said. Did I confuse you? So we talk about too, whatever that's going on with you in your life, like trauma stuff, you have to discover how to recover. Basically, you got to go back in your life to find out What are you running from? What are you hiding from? What are the traumas that happen in your life? What is going on with you? Because if you don't face your trauma, you won't have peace in your life in the here and now. So that's why a lot of people tend to bring a lot of chaos and confusion, because they don't want to look at themselves. So now you take a bald head, big mouth black dude like myself, who have done some work on himself, and will sit here and tell you how he was able to do it, and will sit here and tell you how other people, like my predecessors, other people taught me how to live a better and productive way of life. And I can go in and tell you too, how over 32 years ago, when I yelled out to God to please help me, because I see where my life was hitting at. I seen where it was hitting at. It was hitting down a direction where I was going to either spend the rest of my life over in the big slave camp in the world, or I was going to end up being buried. And I seen it. It was spiraling out of control. I seen it. So that was the reason for me crying out for help. So now the reason why I'm saying that, because I take my personal experience and I can tell you why I did it. Didn't I just say it? I cried out to God. Because whatever power and authority that I had, I didn't realize I was on the destructive road. You could not tell me what I was doing, I was wrong. You could not tell me. So I had to yell out to a power greater than myself, or to a higher power. So what I did, I had to dislinquish the power and the control that I had. That was really running my life into a hole. You could not tell me I wasn't in control of things. I was the most powerful dude you ever want to meet in your life. But I didn't realize I was weak. I can say it today because I have done the work to find out. I was portraying a role. And even when men come into my life today and you want to do that ego pride thing, like you bold and all that strong, you ain't got to. You ain't got to. When you size me up, I know you got a serious problem. And it ain't me. I already know that. I'm very confident. I don't have to sit up here and jump in the man's face, jump. Who you think you done, blah, blah, blah. What you trying to intimidate somebody for? 9 times out of 10 is you. They're scared. Told y'all I sponsor a lot of men and women. A lot. I didn't know, OG, that thank you, baby girl. I didn't know that let me try to get it right, because I don't like sharing out my head. When I share out my head, stuff just flies, right? Because I'm going off my thinking. That's why I try to share from my spirit. And a lot of people don't get it.
Yeah, we know.
But I know, yeah, I know you know. I know you know. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I was there laying under the cover earlier, right? That's why I said I know you know. I was laying there under the cover, right? And I just listened to my man. And I wished I could have recorded everything this man said. Because the way he was putting it, man, it was like he was real. He was real. I'm telling you, he was real. But it was just his tone. And I'm like, oh my God. And I just want to share this with y'all, right? Y'all hear the way I'm talking? And sometimes I can sound real aggressive and stuff like that. And I prayed to ask God to help me turn that around. But I noticed no matter where I start, I can be smooth as all outdoors. But if once I get pumped and I start going, I rise. I rise. And people will take it wrong because they look at me, they look at my face, they look at this, they look at that. But you're not listening with your spirit. Because if you realize I'm not hurting, I'm not trying to hurt or harm anybody. And that's what I was getting from him, right? Not only that, y'all heard me talk about the other day, I'm 63 years old. I can't even tell you if my father living or not. This brother shared about not having his mother and his father in his life. I'm talking about my father not being in my life. Now, I don't want to say his pain was double hurt, because pain is pain. When people hurt, they hurt. Allow them to hurt. You don't tell them about, oh, you shouldn't think like that, or you shouldn't feel like that. A lot of us don't ask for trauma and pain. It tends to show up. It's how you deal with it when it show up. So my thing is with people that I deal with, if you're hurting, I'm not going to tell you, oh, let it go, leave it alone. Wait a minute, that's what I'm trying to do. This is my way of expressing where I'm at and how I feel and what's going on. Well, let it go. Okay, now let it go. No, I might have to share it tomorrow too if it's still there. I learned that over the years. That's why I don't tell nobody. Because when I'm going through, whatever I'm going through, because I watch this with a lot of y'all. When you hurt and you pained up and you can be real ironic and destroy stuff and all that. But then when somebody else feeling that way, but it's not you, now you want to tell them what not to act out on. I'm like, huh? So only reason why I'm saying that, let people feel what they gotta feel and go through it. As long as they not like destructive and tearing stuff up, then because that's when you want to when they like losing control. Now that's when you might want to find a way to say something encouraging and positive to them, but never tell somebody what not to feel. Because a lot of times we don't ask to feel bad. Sometimes it'll come across you. Now, even with me in my talk show as a man, I try to teach men. Because when I cry like a little girl, and when I holler and I scream like a little girl, that's what y'all want to call it. That's called a stress reliever for me. Whenever I'm able to talk and I'm caught up in my feelings and emotions, that's okay, because what I'm doing, I'm releasing that pressure when I open up my mouth. That's called the pressure relief. So a lot of y'all might not understand that. That's why I try to teach men it's okay to holler. It's okay to scream. Because guess what? That don't make you less than a man. Do you know what makes you a male? Do you know what makes you a male? Even if I like the same sex and I still got it. You know what makes me a male? My wingy wingy. And even if I get it changed, I know I was born a male. It was the peeny that makes me a male. Not it was, because I got mine. I just ain't used it like that in 6 years now. But anyway, don't pay no attention to that one too. But and God dang it, I'm like, I'm looking for somebody to give it to. I'm like, God, I love you, but I want to go get some. I don't know about y'all. This is how me and God talk. I'm like, look, I ain't mean to be without it this long. I want some weed, I can say weed. I want some moochiku when you move, because I'm human. I'm human. And I'm going to tell you all this for me. Smex is like smugs to me. Smex. Once I'm started and I'm caught up, it's hard for me to stop. That's why when I look at the word addiction, I can explain certain things. Even with food. Now, I want to say this, right? Because you wasn't on here the other day. I went on Chef's platform, right? And when you don't know all the correct information, you don't beat nobody down. And I'm trying to watch it because this young lady reached out to me to get away from her abusive husband. So I told her she can come to the program. The same young lady paid for her space, but she didn't show up for about 2 weeks. But anyway, when she did come, she wanted her 400 back, right? I didn't have the 400 on me, but she told me I want my money and she wanted it now. Well, good luck, because I ain't got it on me right now, right? So anyway, Chef, since you want to be smart, sis, we went to court because the girl ran in my office. Don't nobody go into my office space. She went in my files to get her file. I never told her I wasn't going to give her money. This is what the thing was all about. But guess what? She had her abusive husband with her at my housing program. So she jets past me. I'm sitting in the chair. She's sitting right there. One of my staff members sitting here. No one sitting there, and one standing there, and she jetted past them into my office. Did you read that on the police report? Since you gonna get me on your page, sis, and you interrogated me, you came right for me and would not allow me to speak. It was so embarrassing, OG, and disrespectful on her end. Now I'm saying this, sis, because I'm on my life. And every time I went to try to explain, I wasn't going to go that deep. But see, this is what happens when you get misinformation from other people and you want to start that he say, she say stuff. Right? So, matter of fact, what she did when I snatched my stuff out of her hands, and I got a picture of her in my office with the folders in her hand going through them. So that was on like the 15th. So I had to go to court on the 20th. And she was in there trying, now you escaping from protection from someone to a safe haven place. Then she switched it and tried to make it seem like I was the abuser when you brought your abuser to my business. When you reached out to me for help. Now you put my building in jeopardy with your husband and you. Chef, if you want to put me out, sis, make sure you got all the information, okay? So I went to court. I didn't have to say nothing because the girl was dead wrong. She was showing the judge me talking on my live. When he was on there talking about this, talking about that, number one, I don't even know you like that. And this is my network platform. You came up on my stuff and tagged her aunt in them in. And I got the videos of your aunt. I got the conversation of your aunt threatening me. See, you running off at your mouth, sis. So if I want to make it worse than what it is, I can't. Because you reached out to me for protection. But I'm the mean, nasty person. So anyway, the judge was like, Mr. Copeland, because the girl wasn't proving nothing. She said, do you have something you want to say? I said, Your Honor, I don't even know her. Why are you filing a protection order on somebody that you don't even know? You came to my housing program. There's a good chance me and you will never see each other again. So what are you filing a protection order away from me for that you reached out for help? That's why I pay attention to stuff, sis. And the judge told her. She was like, well, how long have you been knowing Mr. Copeland? She said, I only met him. It was twice. So you came to his housing program for protection, but he's trying to hurt you. You came there to escape. See, that's why if you want to know something, listen to the truth. So that she ain't proved nothing to the judge. So why was she going to order her a protection order to stay away from somebody that she would never see again? Because she came to my housing program. Do y'all people understand what I'm saying? Because I know you're over in your head, but you this, but you know, she asked for protection from her husband. And my goal was to help protect her. So why would I turn around and want to hurt her? Because she asked me, do I help women in abusive relationships? You know, I said, yeah. And I told my guys to watch out for her. So why would I bring you in only to let you get hurt? So the judge knew. The judge knew what it was. It's just for me, when people do little stupid stuff like that, and they go and they file charges behind your back. Now I just got to go through the process. Only to sit when we go to trial in July. The letter run off at her mouth if she show up. And then for me to tell the judge the same things I just told y'all. Watch me swing in my chair. Your Honor. I don't even know her. Because it's not like we was in a relationship. You know what I mean? It's not like, we sneaking around. So when I say that, and that's when the judge going to ask you, how did you come in contact with me? So that gives me the opportunity to say, I have a temporary housing program where I help homeless and less fortunate people and improving their lives and stuff like that. I just speak for myself, and the judge be like, you went to somebody to get help from? See, that's why y'all need to think first before you put your mouth in stuff. Please think first. I have a temporary housing program. My goal is just to house you. The wraparound service. People call me to ask, can they come in and help with the clients? So y'all think it's all about me. That's why me and Jeff OG hooked up. OG says, if y'all will never pay attention to what your OG say when he say stuff out his mouth, I'm willing to teach. I'm willing to train. It will fly right over your head. So what he's saying is he's willing to come in and volunteer and teach people a trade. That's what he's saying. You might not realize it, but when he's going to take time out of his life, he's living in another city, and he's willing to come here as a partner. The moment he says stuff like this, teach, train, volunteer.
I'm living in another state. I'm living in another state, let alone another city. If I'm willing to do that, take time out of my busy schedule to come and help y'all, then that's what I'll do. I don't give a care. I really don't.
And what he's saying,
that's the thing about me.
He's willing to uproot his life. See, y'all never catch stuff. When a person reach out to me, like a holistic, the holistic lady, right? She said, I want to come in and volunteer my services to help the women. That means, Mr. Copeland, you don't have to pay me nothing. I'm willing to come in and help educate, teach the women, woosah, all that type of stuff, taking care of their physical, all this. The garden area that me and OG talks about. She wants to come in and she know how to go out there and take certain flour and stuff and know how to make stuff out of it. I'm like, come on. That's your expertise. Come. See, y'all look at me. And I keep telling you, I only do transition. I only do the housing portion. But I have other people that's willing to come in and provide their services. Now, Miss Deborah, over at Charm City Community Care, you supposed to be my mental health care provider for the clients. Are you telling them that? And you have not provided mental health services for them at all. I called Powell and me started talking. When Powell came over there to come in, Devin, come up with it, Devin. Because when Powell came in with about 30 intakes for him and filled them up already. Miss Deborah never did it once. And guess what? The next day, a therapist was in the building. So you know what I call somebody like that? That's my business partner.
But then got pushed out.
And then, yeah, thank you, Jeff. And then look, now mind you, this is a woman that's supposed to do mental health care services. She didn't even send nobody. Then gonna tell my therapist from Powell Services, you can't come in here no more. She contradicting her own work. But guess what?
She don't want to do it.
Because that's my leasing property. That's my leasing property. She ain't had no right doing it. Only thing she got to worry about with me is to make sure she get her rent every month. Or the portion I supposed to give her. Because actually, she's leasing from somebody else. So I came in to help her put money in there. She ain't had nobody in that building. So I came in to help her pay back, to give her back the money she was putting out for not having nobody in the building. She was losing money, but I'm the crook. That's why when you don't know the whole thing, shut your big mouth. So I call myself, not just me, I'm gonna put you back there, Jeff. We call ourselves, we already designing what we're gonna do in there and everything. I'm talking about outside and all that. Even the work that needs to be done in the inside. That's why y'all need to listen. I'm not doing this by myself. I work with people.
That's where my services also come in at too. Because I'm also going to be able to do that for you if you need it. So, I mean, I have a lot of services that I'm willing to train and willing to show y'all if y'all are ready to, if y'all are ready for it.
Hey, Jeff, keep talking.
Just to do landscape, and I'm coming in to do everything else that I can do for y'all to help y'all.
Dag it.
So it's not just the landscaping no more, brother.
Right. Somebody texted me on they texting on his phone and they telling me right now, look where I'm at, y'all, because I moved away from the chaos and the confusion. They saying, can they get in the building? They got money to pay for it. To me, but I can't respond because it's not coming up on this phone. So they texting me because this is what I tell people, y'all. Now listen. If you call me and you at a hotel, right, and you paying about $2,000 a month for the hotel, or $700 a week for the hotel, I'll tell you, come on. That's what they texting me now. It's no strong ability help here in Maryland. They asking for help, but because for me, I had to separate myself from the building, not my housing program. Because of what me and Miss Deborah going through, I can't even bring them in. I can't even be there to bring them in and put them in a place, in a spot. So they texting me now for help. And this is what I go through on my end with people fighting me for helping our people. And a lot of y'all do it too. Because you come back and you say discouraging stuff when people reach out to the Latanya D. Copeland House of Hope for help. And then when you sit back, wait a minute, if you know anybody or if you can help us out. So now what I'm gonna have to do when I get off of here, I'm gonna have to call them. So why when a person or people reaching out for me for help and I got the space in the building to help them, but because I had to separate myself with this too. I'm talking about mainly my mind because of the bull crap I'm going through dealing with my Black people. And I had to separate myself in order to have peace in my life. And now I got to turn my back on people that's reaching out to my housing program for help. And I know a lot of y'all saying, so? Yeah, because it's not you. But you never know when your turn might come. Because they didn't know either. So y'all see how this hurt me? And I had to send somebody a message today, right? One of my pastor friends. And I told her, I said, what I'm doing right now is taking that mental break, right? Because it's too much. It's too much chaos and confusion. And some people that I asked to help me is making it worse. That's why I said I can't understand what's happening. Because I called these people in to kind of like, and one of them are supposed to be a business person that has an assistant living program, but he don't know nothing about transitional housing. So why is you down there trying to tell me what to do with my business? You don't do that. You don't step in my business and tell me how to run my business. I've been doing my business for a while now. I set it up the way God told me to do it. But then you want to step in and try to rearrange it. That's not how we work. That's not how we work. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. So right now, nobody, be honest with you, supposed to be in my office space. And I can guarantee you them two suckers down there. Nobody's supposed to be in there. Because I told them don't go down there. Because it's too much chaos and confusion they're bringing to the clients. So when I say don't go, don't go. But guess what? I got the clients down there that's going to do what they got to do for right now until it's time for me to step back in. But once I step in, I have to gain back control over my business. So let me share with y'all how I'll do that. One, I got to bring in a professional team, mainly security. This one guy went and gave all these people in that building, this is a secured building, keys to the building. Why would you do that? They can go make copies and everybody in the neighborhoods can run up in there. Drug boys and all that. Ooh, hustler boys, scrub boys. Don't you dare TikTok. But look, they can come up in there. So now I got to make sure I have 24-hour round-the-clock services for my clients. Not just security. the mental health part of it, like a LPN, an in-house nurse, because I have about 5 people that have seizures and heart attacks. So we need to get somebody in there to check on them, to be in there 24 hours around the clock. But I'm the one wrong. I'm the one that don't know what to do. So now I have to step back and allow stuff to take its course. So you can say anything you want, Devin. And listen to what I said, Devin. That's subleasing for me. Because you made a statement out your mouth about me being homeless. I am subleasing. Do you know what that means? I have 13 apartments in that building. I'm subleasing. I can sleep in any one of them apartments I want. So make sure you get your stuff right, bro. I am home right now. I am in the lower part of my house. And guess what? I'm in the office in the basement. But you made a statement out your mouth about, well, you were living with your niece and all that. Yes, you did. But listen to what I just said. So, anytime for any one of y'all uneducated people, if I lease or rent anything, it's my responsibilities to make sure the rent is paid, the BGE is paid, and I probably won't even pay the water bill because that's the landlord's bill. So I probably help them a little bit. Don't get it wrong. I know my obligations. So when you sit back and you say, oh, he's homeless, let me try this again. I'm subleasing. I didn't say nobody giving me anything for free. Did I? So it's a certain amount I have to pay for this building. I didn't say I owned it. It's called subleasing, a verbal contract. The same way I do with my clients. But the difference is I am the tenant in this complex. I am the tenant. They are my clients. So I had to rent properties to put my tenants in. And guess what? I'm going to say it again. If I want to sleep in any goddamn room in that apartment building, I can. Long as I pay my bills. So sometimes people stop trying to contradict people when they say stuff out their mouth. Because number one, too, Jeff, it's not just an apartment building. We have offices in the basement. So it switches over into what? Commercial building. So I have a commercial facility where I can train and teach and all of that in there. Listen to what I said. So a lot of your real estate agents that develops commercial projects and stuff, right? They rent the spaces out or they lease the spaces out. That's how I know and I can tell when a lot of people don't know nothing about business. Now, God bless them. It get to that point that I'm making funding like that or money like that where I can build my own stuff like this for myself, then that's a blessing. But when some people can't afford to do that starting out, you rent property. You rent commercial buildings. That's why they build commercial buildings for you to get the space in the commercial buildings. That's how I know when a lot of y'all want to butt in when I know you don't know about business. And that's not being smart. Because I only have a 9th grade education, so I'm not real smart. I'm being smart, but I'm not real smart. And the goal is, and Jeff knew this too, which name just went by? Plus Jones. Plus Jones owned a construction company, big, huge, one of the biggest construction companies, developers in Baltimore City. One of the biggest developers in Baltimore City. They doing him and his wife doing a $200 million project right there at North Avenue and Bel Air Road. Him and I was teaming up, or not was teaming up. Him and I been talking about doing blocks, building up. The best way I could say it to make it simple, when we talk about that Black Wall Street, Plus is one of them ones. It's another name that I know that's a billionaire, and he's blocked, that I partner with too. It's just the point with me right now. I'm starting back into. I have to take one step at a time as I ease into the process where we start rehabbing houses for low to moderate income people. So I'm looking at container houses. I'm looking at tiny houses. I'm looking, but now, mind you, we talking about communities wise. So that means you're going to have to get property or land, right, to redevelop. These are people that I talk to with y'all, the same. So don't get mad at me because God got me right here to help our people, mainly the poor people, to help them develop a life that's worth living. So I'm gonna do this again because another person know. Stop challenging me. Stop trying to challenge me, bro. Because you 1 minute you seem like you there for me, and then when somebody throws some chaos and confusion in, I notice how you contradict things. Like, oh, you're not really who you think you is. You're doing it again, bro. So that goes to show me, and I'm not trying to be smart, you got an issue with yourself. It's not me. It's not me. Now, once again, when he started, OG, I thought about you and I. And he was telling me how he's a contractor, he this, he that, he this, he that. But you don't talk against somebody, bro, that can actually get you the work you need. I ain't got to lie to you. I know what I do.
And I know what I do.
And it took me back, OG, to our conversation. See, and then
Which one?
I'm talking about when Noel was coming on, the same with and I'm not trying to be smart. My man, that last conversation we had on this show, us talking, the three of us. Okay. I ain't even messed with him since then. Don't challenge me, because a lot of times when people do that and we talking in a positive note, right? Talking about building up and doing things, and all of a sudden I hear you kind of coming against me when I'm already where you trying to get business wise. I done went through the first process. I'm only sharing with you what we do, what you got to do until you able to like pay for your own stuff. You got to start out renting property to put people in or to do your business in for what we talking about until you're able to build your own houses and stuff. That's where your credit scores got to be right, where you can buy a house, right? You can buy a house for $200,000. Your credit scores got to be right, where your payment once. Well, let me break it down. A $200,000 house in Baltimore City, with my credit score at 620, it would be a hard money loan. But the mortgage on a $200,000 house for would only cost me $1,300 a month. That would be around 6%. See, when you don't do the homework on why, you won't know. But when your interest rates is a lot higher than that, and you getting a loan for a $200,000 house, your monthly payment is going to be a lot cheaper. And then if y'all remember, at one point, if you paid $200,000 for a house, you paid 10%. Your mortgage will be 10% of that $200,000. At 6%, it took it down to around about $1,300 a month. If I put 2 or 3 twin beds in one room to house like recovery people and stuff like that, I can earn, if I charge like $500 on that bed, or if I'm getting government funding, I can charge a lot more because the government gonna pay for it. So I would make a yang off of just that one bedroom. Now we talking business. But guess what? When I was presented with that, that's not what I wanted. I wanted blocks. I wanted blocks, blocks, blocks. That's what I was trying to get to develop to work with me with. But I said this, y'all. If I gotta start at the one house, I will. But now, mind you, this was just before I got locked up. So when I came back home, I started reaching back out to the real estate investors that I was dealing with to let them know I'm back, to so that they can continue walking me through the process. And they were sharing with me how they already did like 16 houses over here, 20 houses over there. And I'm telling you, they doing it like that. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It was just the point right now to get myself back on track. Starting out with the transition house. And I hope my friend don't mind me saying this, but it's starting out with the transition house because as my clients grow through the process, they are the ones that get the first option to get into the home buyers program. So I already have clients lined up, right? But guess what? If we don't have nothing ready for them at the time when they're ready to move forward in the program, I can always use a real estate agent to get them to look at other houses for them. I ain't done by far, right? So I got a couple of real estate agents with me too. But the point with all of that too, we have to teach them about the home buyers program. We have to have lenders in. We have to have them in to work on their credit scores and stuff like that. All of that is under my program because you want to make sure that you have the proper people in place to help them. So why am I going to rob and steal and take from the very people that I'm trying to help improve their lives? Now, if y'all can help me understand that, because I figure like this: if you think I'm a crooked mother sucker, I don't roll like that. I used to be like that over 32 years ago. And if you don't like the way I come, that's your bull crap. That goes to show you he ain't the type of dude that take trash, or he ain't the type of dude that play around. I stand firm on my morals, my values, my principles when it come to our people, most of all when it come to me. I was offered $1 million to stop doing strength in the community because they know the power of building up character, they're building up people. I was offered it twice. Come over here and sit at the table with us. We can help you make millions. I said, I'm already gonna make millions. God already told me. But it was to sell our people out. And I tell y'all this all the time. And I said no. The reason why I said no, because I figured my conscience would eat my butt up. I said, no, God ain't gonna tear me up. Because I can see me now, right? You know, I'm sitting up here trying to talk all this good stuff, and the Holy Spirit said, nope, not. I'm like, mm-mm. So if y'all want to call me, the whatever names y'all want to call me, Sal, Bo, Christopher, somebody, whatever y'all want to call me. My thing is, I look, God gonna get me. It's not y'all. Some of y'all can do some crutball stuff and still be all right with it. My conscience will tear me up, and I'm wondering why I ain't got no peace in my life. Y'all think because I run off in my mouth. When I ain't on this, I be like, thank you, Jesus. Y'all just don't know. Because guess what? I got to look at myself and make sure I'm doing what's right by God. You know what I mean? And it's not to rob, it's not to steal, it's not to take, because we talking about people, y'all, that don't really have nothing. And I was listening to this nurse today, and my daughter is an LPN, and she mentioned LPNs are low something something, and I said, huh? It's actually considered as a life practice, a licensed practice nurse. All right, right. She's studying for her. She's studying to be a nurse. And the way she put it, like she trashed it. And I was like, what did you just say? Because do you know for a father with a ninth grade education, just to know his daughter graduated college and she's a licensed practice um, nurse now, right? Working on her nursing degree. For a person that didn't graduate from school, when my 22-year-old graduated, I felt complete inside. So proud of that. So y'all don't understand this because y'all listening to a man, not a boy. So you don't get it. You listening to a proud father. When my son graduated, and that's high school, I felt completed because he did something. He did something that his dad did not do. Not just that, my daughter, my 24-year-old daughter, got her bachelor's of art degree to be a lawyer. She's working in a law firm under being a paralegal until she's ready to go back. And she want to go to the University of Maryland to get her law degree. And her dad only have a ninth grade education. Do y'all know how that makes me feel as a man? And then my 27-year-old, this is my stepdaughter. I raised her from the age of 2 years old, but that's my daughter. 2 months. That's my daughter. She's studying to get her license as a licensed daycare provider. Do you know how good that makes me feel? From a person that came from the pew pew area, from a person that came from them, and knowing I was able to raise my kids better than that. They didn't grow up in the inner city, so I'm able to go back and provide services for them to come up out of it and stay out of it a day at a time. And y'all want to call me all kinds of names, and y'all want to try to criticize me when I come from that. And I go back into the community because God did it. And I tell y'all all the time, God called me back, the Holy Spirit, and you criticizing me, you criticizing God. Even if you're a Christian, if you're a believer. When I tell you the Holy Spirit called me and you want to criticize me, that goes to show me you're not into the spirit or you don't even have that healthy relationship. So don't get mad at me. And I tell y'all, I drove the tractor trailer for 35 years. I retired at 58. I'm 63 now. So my profession by trade is tractor trailer driving. And I'm darn good at that. So I'm telling you right now, in the area I'm in now, I have no high school diploma with. I have no certification, but I can speak with the best of them. It's just the point of getting the job done. Don't get mad at me. I tell y'all stuff you can talk bad about me, and because that's what I know a lot of y'all good at doing. Wanting to criticize this Diet Pepsi drinking. I don't drink alcohol. Well, juice. I don't burn. I don't Buddha, sex, all that. Wait a minute, I'm trying to get to the song. I don't do none of that. I don't take smugs. I don't take hugs. I don't do 32 years clean. And if I want to do certain things, I can. And I'm going to show y'all just how good I am. I ain't had no Viagra. I ain't had no Cialis. Anybody got something they want to sell? Anybody got any, Shut up, D. I'm laughing at the Dr. Panda, right? Stop playing. Yes, my Diet Pepsi. I know him because I'm a diabetic. So look, he over there said not to die. Look, hey, Dr. Panda, I got my coffee, right? Dr. Panda, I got my coffee, but I don't have my substitute sugar, so I had to put some regular sugar in it, just a little bit, just a little bit to get my hazelnut coffee. I ain't messing with you, Doc. I'm not messing with you. I'm not messing with you. Mm-mm. Yeah, but by me being a diabetic, I have to watch what I do. It got me cracking up. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I used to weigh over 300 pounds at one point. I'm 200 pounds now. But now, mind you, that took years for me to like drop the weight. My A1C always stayed over 10 for years. I got it under 10. But now because I'm not getting the medication that I supposed to, it caused my number to go up. But the only reason why, because it was bringing it down. It's not because of what I'm not eating, and I mean eating right and stuff like that, which got what kills me. And I'm gonna tell you on this medical term, for me to lose enough weight and everything to really bring my A1C down, it causes other organs to fight harder. For the I'm trying to see how the doctor was telling me. Because I have a tendency sometimes, like right now, I had baked some chicken and stuff, and I put it in the refrigerator. I was getting ready to do some rice or something with it, but I figured I'll do that tomorrow. Now, I'll do that. I'll bake my food most of the times. I try not to eat out as much, and that's why I started losing a lot of the weight. But what I was trying to get to, Dr. Panda, I have a tendency, and this what the doctor was saying. I supposed to eat breakfast. I supposed to eat lunch. I supposed to eat dinner. And I told her, I said, sometimes I only eat once a day. And that's what it was, Dr. Panda. She said, that's not good because my organs will start fighting to replace those things that I'm not putting in my body. And I didn't realize that. Because I have a tendency, if I'm not careful, I won't eat at all. Not realizing I'm starving myself. And that's not good for a diabetic. That's not good. So that's what she was telling me, Dr. Panda, that I need to eat, if it's no more than a little bit. So I got me some cereal, the little stuff I'm supposed to have. But still, I won't eat but like once a day. It's just a habit. Come on, Dr. Panda.
I can't talk too loud. Actually, I'll step outside. Give me 1 second, brother.
All right. And don't be messing with my Diet Pepsi. But yeah, I was listening to my man Ghost, and it was just the way he was bringing it, man. He was bringing it, and I loved it. I'm like, oh my God. And I had the phone right beside me, and I was under the cover, and it was just listening to him because he was speaking, saying everything like you and I do, Jeff. He was saying things, but it was just in his own words. And I'm saying to myself, we speak in the same language. But why whenever I open up my mouth, somebody got something to say against it? And I'm like, wow. I don't know if it's just my voice, my tone, my presence, if of authority, and that makes them feel a little intimidated because he was saying the same things, but I noticed nobody interfered with nothing he was saying.
Yeah, no, and that's how it is, brother. And what you were saying, I was doing the same thing. That's why I started paying more. I'm 40 now, so like I'm paying more attention. But your eating habits, I was doing the same thing. Like I eat like a bird. So I eat like small.
Right.
And I started noticing a difference. And so now I started eating regularly. I usually have a big breakfast. Well, not big, but small. And I have my lunch. And then I usually have a bigger dinner. But like I just eat small. And so like I started noticing weird stuff. And I started eating normal. Girl, I don't drink sodas or any of that stuff. But I saw a Dr. Pepper in there. But it was a Diet Dr. Pepper. And I was like, all right, whatever. It was still good. But yeah. And especially, with us, especially with our health and stuff, we really got to watch the cholesterol. I don't really fry a lot of stuff. I bake the chicken, stuff like that. And, it's one of the things, man, we're all different. Yeah, see? If you don't mind me asking, how old are you guys?
I'm 63.
I'm 58.
Damn, y'all look good for your age, man. I guess it's true, but don't cry.
But you know what?
I was 28 the other day, and I was like, I'll take it.
Look, see, my thing is, to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff I do, I try my best not to let it wear me down or show on me. because what people tend to do, and it's just life. They carry life stress, and you can see it in the gray. You can see it in the wrinkles. You just see it in the way they carry it. And because I am an older gentleman, now notice I said gentleman. You know, I know it's a proper way we need to carry ourselves, but still, when you hear me go the way I go, that's a part of me, like that. I don't want to say egotistic and all of that to try to make it seem like it's negative, because it's not. It's just the way people take it. But that's authority with me. That's how I stand strong and powerful. And what it does, it just intimidates. And I'm just being real for myself. And that's why a lot of times when I talk with a lot of young men that's around about 45, 47, at least around 50, they think I'm the same age. They think I'm around that age. And I be like, no. That's why sometimes when I come in, I have to let them know y'all talking to an OG. You know, you talking to somebody that lived a certain way of life and don't live like that no more. And a lot of times for our young men out on the streets, Dr. Panda, what I'll do when I'm out in the community, I'll do them like this. Nephew, what's up, man? Come on, y'all making us OGs look bad, blah, 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 blah. And I get the utmost respect. Now,
yeah, no, 100%.
You get some that will challenge you. And I'll be like, you know, because it's certain things you got to say to help them know your realness. Now, watch the way I do this again. And tell me, who do this sound like? That's DMX. That's my cousin. And I was I was on here roaring the other day. And my cousin came in. And he said, man, if you don't sound like Cuzzo. And on top of that, he was telling me about some other rappers that's family members. Now, I'm a Copeland in Baltimore City. When DMX was in Baltimore City, that was during my hangout days. I don't even remember him. But a friend of mine told me, he said, Steve, you don't remember when he used to stick up to people with the bulldogs and stuff like that? But the reason why I'm saying that, doctor, because I'm so glad that we didn't clash like that, because I wasn't a very nice guy. You get me? So even if he was in the company of us, we didn't clash in that sense. And I thank God, because I was a big, evil, nasty dude. And I don't want that dude to show up. And it's like now, Dr. Panda, because I'm a human rights advocate, I'm a homeless advocate, I'm a community activist, all that good stuff. But when I was out there doing what I was doing, I never went to prison for none of it. So I didn't have more trouble fighting for the rights of people than I did when I was poisoning the community. And I was thinking about that, OG. I'm like, what the freak? Because what I'm seeing with people, and they don't realize, when you caught up in a certain slave man mentality thinking, and they're not all melanated. That narrative, thank you. They're not all black, you know. So that's why when I hear things, and when you know different, but then you know who's doing the oppression. I mean, who's doing the enslavement. And I try to help people understand, they're not all YTs. We talking about people with money. We talking about people in authority.
Trust me, I got mine. Yep.
You know, you get me? So look, I'm just saying it because now, when I start speaking like that, when I start speaking like this, doctor, guess what happened?
People get scared.
Watch this. Scared. Wait a minute, watch this, OG. TikTok will flash me.
Because they don't know what to do.
TikTok will flash it.
Yeah.
And if I'm not careful, my Facebook will send me a message too, because I'm speaking against whatever. So, and I already know that. A lot of people don't realize it. But when you start talking against the norm, and I'm speaking out, they have a tendency of blocking certain things. I already know. That's why when I come on anybody's page and they see it and see Steve Copeland over there, they don't realize it. It's like, oh shit, Already know. Already know.
Yeah.
Already know.
No, you're speaking truth. And then, the one thing that I've learned, I'm ex-military. I've been around the country. I'm very understanding. What you were saying earlier, I really, you're like, I don't have any degrees, this, that, but you know how to talk to people. You know how to understand things. And there's some people that don't understand it. You can have all the book smart in the world, but if you don't know how to talk to people and understand maybe where they're coming from, they might your thoughts, how you feel about things might not line up, but at least have the intelligence to be able to sit there and listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
You might not agree with it. Maybe you come to a common ground and understand certain things. And and I still want to know what was going on with that. I was in here a couple of days ago when you and the other dude were going at it. You pulled out the paperwork. You're like, I got this, I got that. Like you were torching him. And I was oh, sorry.
But you know what though? But you know what? It is what it is. And if you're gonna run your mouth, make sure you have all your proper ID to do it. That's the only thing that I'm trying to tell you. Mm-hmm. And Copeland has all of his proper ID and everything like that. That's just like me. He's got all of my credentials right now waiting on me to get down there. He's got everything that he needs from me to be able to hire my company to come in and help. You see what I'm saying? So I'm coming in free will of my own time to train. I'm going to be training awesome. People, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with training someone that's willing to learn. But if you're not willing to learn, then don't waste my time.
And OG, let me say this because of your expertise, right? And I want to say this because like I said, I'm on my live stream as well. I'm not licensed. When I say that, say like in cook and clean and stuff like that. I'm not licensed, but because of my temporary housing program, I don't have to be licensed because I'm providing just temporary housing. So I will use the professional like OG. So he have to come in to show me his paperwork in order to get service or to get business as far as from the clients, right? Because he's providing a service. So a lot of people get it mixed up. And some transitional housing programs are licensed and they can actually train themselves. Teach those things themselves. I don't try to teach nobody nothing. I let the ones with the PhDs, the doctorants, hey, y'all come in because you adding service. You get me? You adding service. So I can bring you on. And in other words, if I use it like this, Dr. Panda, because it's called this too, I refer my clients to your business. Now, referral is just another word for saying I'm contracting with you. I'm contracting with you for my business, for my clients. But you have to be, you have to have your credentials up to date. So once you bring them to me and I see you qualified to do this. Now check this out. I'm gonna show y'all the blessing with strengthening a community, the Laternity Copeland House of Hope. Any service I start within this facility or the facilities like I have a culinary a commercial kitchen in it. That's all I got to do is get that kitchen up to date and hire a chef that say I'm willing to come in and teach your clients culinary classes and certify them. Now, once I get you in and you're actually doing the work and everything is in order, I can apply for state and government funding to get you paid now for your services. And that's what my business is about.
I'm gonna have to pick your brain because you got a lot of knowledge. Like right now, I did IT stuff, I did networking, I've done pretty much everything. Master, what is it? What's it called? Master. Wait, no, a jack of all trades, but a master of none. But I'm at that point in my life where I'm like, I need to. You're enticing me right now because I like this. I like where you're going with this. I like where you're going with it. But I gotta run here in a second. I gotta But I'm gonna look for you whenever you jump online again. I'm gonna be on there with you and OG. But the wife's cooking some food right now.
All right.
But this is knowledgeable. I'm glad I jumped in here, man.
You got chills running all through my body, man. That's nothing but the spirit.
We actually get deeper and deeper than this. That when we do talk, we really do get into some deep conversations, and it would be nice to have some other feedback than just his and I's alone. We would love to have feedback on what we're doing for the community and stuff. You know, nobody that's willing to do it that's going to be negative. You know, we want positive people on our side.
Hey, I'm right here.
That's what we
like
want.
I said, I'm learning from you guys. I'm right now. I'm being a sponge right now. I'm like, okay, these are options. These are things because I like helping people. I don't take shit from people, but you know, good people that need help. Hey, I'm ready. You know, I like it. It makes you feel good, like your soul and everything. It just makes you feel like a better person. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm about to come in.
Oh, go ahead. Go. Oh, I like that. Oh.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, like with the homeless, I mean, like, you know, we're going through some tough times ourselves. You know, right now we're staying with some friends right now, and it happens. You know, life happens, man. You can make all the money in the world, and then one thing happens, medical, whatever, and you know
what?
So,
and I tell people this. I tell people this all the time when I'm in a meeting. You're only one paycheck away from being homeless.
Mm-hmm.
You're only one paycheck away from being homeless.
Right.
Because I've been there and done that. I've been there and done that already. I'm tired. I don't want to be homeless anymore. I'm too old to be homeless. You know, to be honest, I'm too old.
And see, the only thing we're doing is giving back. Come on.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, OG.
The funny thing is what?
I
was getting ready to say we old. We older now.
When I was making, you know, damn near almost six figures, you know, I was driving, you know, I used to work on people's homes and stuff like that, doing electrical stuff and installing stuff. And then when I was driving through, I mean, over here in Washington, we got a big homeless thing going on. And I would always tell myself, I was like, just one bad move, you know, one medical issue like what I was having. And, you know, you could be out there. I mean, because I had a little bit saved up, but, you know, that little bit was only a couple grand, but one thing could happen. But you always stay appreciative of the people that are there. It's the people that are there. And you always remember them because, you know, down the road, they might need that same help. And I was always helping other people out before, but, you know, you find out who your real friends are, too. I'll leave that alone. But anyway, let me get going, brothers. It's been a pleasure. I will definitely be...
When I seen you right there, you put a big smile on my face, Doc.
Stay safe, okay?
All righty. Thanks, bro.
All right, I'll talk to you guys soon.
All righty.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all this too, and I don't get caught up in it a lot. Whenever you talk about something positive and real, you don't get a lot of people that will actually come in that's on that. They'll come in, but they just talk hearsay. They just talk from a certain different level where their hearts and minds is not really where yours is at. Now, some of the shows that OG puts on from Monday, Wednesday, Friday, people was coming in and they was talking a real good game. But little by little, they started falling off. And even though I backed up because of the work I'm doing over here, they should have still supported the men's show. So not being smart to nobody, but when we create stuff like this for men, I look for real men and kings to show up no matter what. Because the whole goal is to encourage and motivate other brothers. And when I say brothers, I'm talking about men, period. Okay? Because that's what we do. We have to encourage and motivate, mainly when you're dealing with people that makes you feel like, because you are a very responsible, productive man, and you have some that want to talk to you, and I'm talking about some of the females, some of the queens. Don't come at me with that stuff. Don't you ever. Because I will tell you like this, Barbara Jean taught me very well. And when I say Barbara Jean taught me very well at a very young age, which I would not do that to my kids. My mother taught me adult responsibilities, like cooking, cleaning, shopping, sewing, all of that. And I asked my mother, as I got a little bit older. I said, Mom, why did you put all of these responsibilities on me that really adults supposed to do? She said, Steve, because you was the smartest one. And I almost bust out crying. Because you know what? I had to grow up real fast as a child. And I was not a child. I didn't even really get a chance to enjoy my, like, after I started with the bird, enjoying my teenage years and in my 20s. I realized I didn't have a life because I was too busy trying to be something that I wasn't. And that's an adult. Even though I grew into it. But that responsibilities, you never put adult responsibilities on a child. And that's why I do what I do. Because I realized what my mother did to me was not my responsibilities as a child. So I wanted my children as they was growing up, if you're 13, be 13. You're not 15, you're not 14, be right there. Y'all can sit here and talk that bull junk all you want, but check this out. When you have an 8 or 9-year-old that's acting like a 12-year-old, they're acting. They are not. They're 8. And I had to realize that. Even when you have a person that's a certain age that don't consider them as an adult, and they might be acting more mature, listen to what I just said. They are acting more mature. You have to grow into maturity. You grow into it, or adulthood. So I listen to how a lot of y'all talk, grown-ups. That's why when I started telling my kids certain things, it's not that I had to tell them. I had to show them. So I had to be an example of everything I say out my mouth. Because what you can do and what you can say to them, but you'll act a total different way. And it hit me one year when they was younger. Steve, not only what you say, they watching what you do. So that's why when I hear a lot of y'all very educated people talking about it starts at home, yes, it does. And look who's training them. Look who's teaching them. So that's why I had to learn as minds begin to grow. It's not as much as what you say, Dad. They watching what you do. So if you keep a messy house, if you don't take care of yourself right, if you don't do all that good stuff, they're not going to do it themselves. OG, that picture that you see me on with my legs crossed, I was at the Mercedes dealership with my daughter. She said, Dad, I want you to go with me because I don't want them to sit up there and play games with me. Because you know how they manipulate certain females when they think you don't know stuff. So her dad came in there. When we all went, me, her, and my son, boom. Because my daughter know the way her father carried it. My daughter knows the way her father stand. Now, I'm only saying this to my queens. When I step in your life, baby girl, you got a good goddamn man. I don't do that now. If we're going to split bills and stuff like that, that's fine. Because now I know about 50-50. But I was so used to paying everything. My wife worked. Listen to this, men. My wife worked. Matter of fact, I'm going to go to the mortgage, right? Our mortgage was $1,600 a month. I mean, 15. I paid 9. She only had to pay 6. And guess what? Everything else, I paid. I took care of everything else. The car payments, car insurance. But what I'm trying to get to with that, y'all, that trips me out when I listen to a lot of people. My wife money was her money. Listen to what I'm getting ready to say. My wife money was her money. And my money became her money. I'm like, wait a minute, I work for my money. But as a man, her money was her money and my money was her money too. And that's the same way my daughters carry it. My daughter makes my 24-year-old makes $60,000 a year. And sent me a message and said, Dad, you gonna pay our phone bill this month? I'm like, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna send her some money.
No, it should be the other way around.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying. But I'm telling you,
Hell yeah. Make them pay something. Oh no.
Hey, OG, you ain't lying. I'm like, wait a minute, where your money at? But look, she's so used to it. That's the way my daughters are. They are so used to daddy doing stuff. Even though they have their own, financial, the only one, well, my oldest two, let me be real. My 36-year-old, she don't call me and ask me for nothing, right? My 27-year-old won't call me and ask me for nothing. But that goddamn 24-year-old.
She'll call you in a heartbeat.
Yes, she will. And Steve, he plays with two different teams. And I'm trying to get him to jump a lot quicker than what he's doing, but he's actually looking for somebody to more like discover him in the things that he do. So my goal when he was 15 was reaching out for a FIFA agent and all that type of stuff because his name is well known out there. So I was trying to reach out to FIFA agents and all of that, but what little Steve told me, because he know that he has to finish school, he has to go to college, he got to get some college under his belt, and that's how they normally pick their stars, basketball, all of that. You know how it goes. So he knows the process that he has to follow. But I was trying to get him jump across all of that to do certain things. But he would tell me, no, Dad, because I got to do this and I got to do that. Because he know the steps he got to take. I wanted to get some cleats, right? Some soccer cleats. And I was going to put his number on them. Because like I said, he plays when he was younger. He was playing on a collegiate level anyway. So I was going to get some cleats and stuff and put his numbers on them. Even though I paid $50 for the cleats, I was going to sell them back for $150. But he was like, "No, Dad." I said, "Why, Steve?" He said, "I ain't a professional yet." I said, "Shit." It was like, so now I'm listen to what I'm saying, y'all. Now he understand, like the business part of what I do. He understand his process, and he wasn't allowing his dad to take it from him because it's his process of where he needs to go. So what I have to do now, as his father, y'all, because that's his dream and that's his vision. Are you still, even though he's still doing what he's doing, playing soccer and stuff wise, but is it still your vision and your dream to go overseas to make millions? Get it? He can make millions over there and he can come back and make millions here. But right now, if he played professional here, he won't make the millions the way he can see it there. So this is what I told my son. I said, look, if because his girlfriend is in Stephen College to be a nurse. So now that would separate that, right? Either she's going to have to stop doing what she here and travel him. But either way, I'm just saying. So travel with him, I meant. So this is where it's at now. I'm like, Steve, if you're getting to the point that you might be losing that desire, I said, let's start a soccer team here, a league here, right? So he can still teach in that way. The reason why I'm saying that, Jeff, Stephen Copeland Jr., Sports and Talents, is the multi-purpose centers that I want to open up here in Baltimore City. Not just for football, basketball, lacrosse, cricket, golf, all of those sports that a lot of our inner city kids don't play. Not just that, music, art, theater, dancing. So what I was trying to share with Joe/Desmond the other day, I can get land, or I can say, like, if I rent a spot to do the multi-purpose center part of it, the music, art, theater, stuff like that, and we get land on the outside, a facility that we can use to play like soccer on, cricket on, stuff like that. And guess what? I can go to one of the colleges and get that type of property from them to have those services there. That's why he missed what I was saying. If I rent a facility, I hire the professionals in to do the job. I don't have to be licensed.
Yeah, I know.
I don't have to be licensed. And what I was telling, when I say I don't have to be licensed, I know you know because it's business. When I said I don't have to be licensed for certain things, and I'm talking about state and government funded, that's the LLC. So when you're doing an LLC, it's more based around a corporation. It's a bunch of y'all. But now I can do the same things, and I know you understand as a sole proprietor. But the only thing with that, I would have to get, say, like $1 million worth of insurance to cover whatever might happen on the grounds. See, I already know. That's why people like Devin and people that don't really understand the process, and let me explain it, because it will tell you the difference in certain like LLCs or sole proprietor. Just like with me,
I have a
come on.
I have a $500,000 insurance for liability.
You heard what you just said?
I have to
Right.
for my company because I am a landscaper. I am a handyman, but I have to have at least a $500,000 insurance.
And you know what that does? OG.
They told me I couldn't go. They told me I couldn't go no lower than 500,000.
Right. Now, didn't you hear me say $1 million? Because whenever you get something, you want to be able to protect yourself. Just in case somebody get hurt or something happen, you have insurance to cover that individual that's on your property.
Yeah.
See, now, when I got with Miss Deborah, now mind you, strengthen the community came in there. And I want to say this to you because me and somebody was adding some stuff up. She never, to this day, when I asked her how much she paid for renting that spot, she made me think that she paid $16,000 a month rent for leasing. Then I added up. I said, well, once the building gets to the capacity, my mind is about 10,000, BGE. So I'm adding this, but I'm adding plus Jones. This was the owner plus Jones. This woman lied to me, and it made me feel bad because this is my partner. And I was telling him what was what, right? And he said, Steve, the numbers, he told me. He said the numbers ain't right. Guess who else told me that plus? The owner. I said, I'm only going off of what she told me, but I knew it. Well, I was trying to make sure she got the money for what she was putting out. But he couldn't contradict her. This is what the owner was telling me. So I said, well, if it's just me and you, doing business together, how much would you charge me? Because I wanted him to kind of break it down. Because she lied to me. Right now to this day. And she trying to make everybody think it's me. She sent me something that said 12,000. The BGE is not in her name. It's in the owner name. The water bill, owner name. She only paid $6,000 for that property. And I said, that's all the fuck you gonna get since you lied to me. That's all you gonna get. Every dime that was made in that building under my housing program, I was gonna make sure she got it. I said, no, I'm gonna pay you the freaking $6,000 because you didn't have to lie to me like that. That's why she mad. But my thing is, I came in here to help you get the money back that you was losing. And now everybody think I'm the fucking crook. But that's how y'all need to stop. And I'm not trying to be smart. When you greedy and you backstabbing, excuse me, my back ain't been hurting me since I've been away from that building, which I got to go back because of my people. But I ain't got them knives in my back now. My back was literally hurting me. So it ain't hurting now. But look, I'm disappointed in her because you lied. You didn't have to lie. I've told you I got your back and your daughter back. I was trying to make sure the expenses you put out to the owner, you was getting right back. You was getting right back. And that's what the owner told me. He said, Steve, just make sure she get back what she paid me. I said, I got you. It's the owner, the Jewish guy, plus, that wants me to come to his other properties with my program, teaching people how to be more responsible and productive, getting rid of that old mindset, that ghetto mindset. It's the owner, the Jewish guy. And not only that, I got a couple of other owners that lease houses out through Section 8. And guess what, Jeff? I was reaching out to the director of homeless services and stuff, right? That one too, but of HUD housing. I ain't got to do that. Plus, this man got over 200 and something properties. He's contracted with HUD housing to get you in the low income houses, to get you into Section 8 housing, to get you in off of Medicaid paying for your expenses. I said, ah! I was like, what? He was telling me the stuff that he got to offer to the people. Plus, look, man. So he told me, look. He told me, he said, just make sure they ready, Steve. And this one standing there trying to make me look bad. And I done talked with the man. I done got other real estate investors dealing with us, Jeff. One to make sure first thing they want, and I'm trying to watch how I say stuff, y'all. But I got to put it in this sense to help you understand. That ghetto mentality where people will come in and tear your stuff up and everything. We are teaching you here how to be more responsible with your stuff. So he like, Steve, look, he loved what we doing to teach people how to be more responsible and productive so they will maintain their property, Jeff. With you coming in teaching them how to cut grass, trim trees, all of that, not to bust holes in the walls, all this type of stuff. They want the temporary housing program to teach them how to be more conservative and constructive. And most of all, pay your damn rent on time. So when you give me a receipt, but we doing it. When you give me your, Jeff, wait a minute. Jeff, you doing it. Jeff, when you give me your receipt every month, between the 1st and the 5th of the month, I can tell him you pay your stuff on time, not Miss Deborah. I got your receipt for your rent. But then I hand it to her. But I'm their mouthpiece when it comes to talking to the owner. You get me? For the real estate investor. So I'm the one that can show him everything. Look, they pay their stuff on time. Because I get it. I'm the one that's got to show them your paperwork and your credentials. That's my mouth. And not only that, if I got to come down to the rental office where you at and talk to you about my clients, the work that we put in for them. And then y'all get mad at me when I try to tell y'all the services we provide that help the most important, help people turn the quality of their lives around. I got to see it. I got to make sure your room's clean. I got to make sure your kitchen's set up nice. Look at the pictures I show y'all. This is the way I show by example. I show the clients how they need to maintain their stuff. If I come in your room and your room junky, we're going to have a problem. Because I figured if you don't keep your area clean, you ain't going to keep that apartment clean. Y'all missed the boat. Y'all missed the boat. Oh, he been mean. He been nasty. He been this. He been that. No, I'm a disciplinary. I got to make sure you do the work. And the only ones that's going to buck on me, the only ones of my clients that's going to buck on me because I remind them so much of their parent. Oh, he trying to tell me what to do. Yes, I am, because I love you. And then you got some of them that'll get together. He this, he that. I'm only teaching your own parents don't want you in their house. Your mama don't. Your daddy don't. Your aunt don't. They don't want you in. That's why they putting you out, because you're so disrespectful. But Mr. Steve bringing you in. Y'all missed the boat with the temporary transitional housing program. A lot of y'all. You missed the damn boat. And when I come, listen to me. Who you think he talking to? He ain't my parent. He ain't this. I know I'm not. But what I say out my mouth, if it offends you, that's because of your self-esteem. It ain't me. Because a lot of times when I'm talking, I'm not talking personally to you. I don't know who need to hear what I'm saying. But then when you come back and say, well, you say that to me, and I say, oh, that bothered you. What I just said out my mouth bothered you? That goes to show it's you. It ain't me. I'm just telling you what I do to help people turn their lives around. And some people you got to be hard with. When you're in my housing program and you doing certain things that I see you stuck in a certain way, right? I gotta come at you hard for a certain reason. Say like this one female in there, Jeff, and everybody talking about she stink. She stink. Big girl. That's why I said I need the holistic women in it that knows how to give them the right stuff to regulate them. Y'all don't even understand why would I say what I say, what I say. Because she know how to teach women how to embrace themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why I saved plus a special place for her in that building. And the building ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. God is transitioning it. That's why I'm sitting back minding my business while he do what he got to do. Right? So I told her, I got this area where her stool can, her couch, her bed thing can go in it, where she can do her acupunctures and stuff like that. I got a space in there where she can go into, I call it the daycare, the daycare room, right? If y'all look at it, it's set up like a freaking dining room. And not only that, we're gonna put a big TV right there with a couch stuff that goes around. But the way we're doing it, where the pastor can come down there too and have services. All of this is in the building. Why am I doing this stuff? For us to turn around and be thrown out. That's why you need to talk with Steve Copeland and stop believing everything you hear from other people. Talk to me. I have an educator. That was the paper I was showing the other day of the guy that brought me his credentials. Not only him, Norm West brought me his credentials where he want to be there during the night. To anybody that needs service in there that might be sick, he can watch over them. So I have to get a team in there like that 24 hours around the clock. I got an area in the basement where all these wires at for monitors to monitor the building. So I have to get security in there. But I'm robbing and stealing and I'm taking from the poor people when I'm trying to do whatever I can to protect them. And the only reason why I'm saying is because I want to put a lot of you suckers to shame for trying to badmouth me when that's all I'm doing is trying to help protect our people. That's all. And let me share this because he mentioned something about the other day. Joe mentioned something about the guy with the eye in the sky, right? Ross T. McNutt was an Air Force major somewhere along that line, right? He would take his planes and go over to foreign countries and spy over the countries. So he started a local business to do the same type of work here. Baltimore City was supposed to have been an example for the eye in the sky, and he was here before in 2016 to help reduce the unalive rate. I remember hearing about it, but this time I was part of it myself. So when Ghost was talking today about like snitches get stitches, and this is what I was telling people, and I told our young men out in the streets, this time ain't nobody got a snitch on you. Because when you do those things that you're doing, we're collecting the evidence to give to the detectives to come for you. Because your behavior is going to tell on itself. Oh no, they spying. Oh no, they underwear. The goal was to slow down Marfa 21 black genocide. When you realize your people being set up to destroy themselves, what you do? You counteract it. So a lot of y'all that wants to run off at your big mouths with no solution. That's one of the reasons why I joined that team with Archie and them. I was mainly the spokesperson for that. Went on talk shows and everything. Learn about Steve Copeland, okay? To show you how it works. If you leave out your house, and I always use Pennsylvania North as an example. If you leave out your house and go down to North Avenue, Pennsylvania, and you unalive somebody, if you go back to your house which you came out of, or you go to another house, that plane can track you back to the house you came out of to commit that crime, to wherever you went. Now, this is the way they do it. Even if you go somewhere else, they know whoever did it from the house they came out of to where they went to, came out of that house. Even though you went into another house, they'll track it there. But the house you came out of to where you went to commit it, they know that person came. So they narrows it down to the person that came out the house. I wouldn't care if you was around about 1,000 other people. They will narrow it down and give the information to the police, the detectives. How, Mr. Copeland? It was a person that the police did something to in 2016. Watch the name I get ready to say. Ivan Bates went back and got that recording from 2016. Got the guy that the police did what they did, exonerated. So it goes to show you it works. Ivan Bates knew it because he got it for himself to help his defense attorney. When I share stuff with y'all, I'm not sharing stuff with y'all because of what I searched, what I went on the internet and did what I did. I'm telling you from the people I deal with too. I was the one, Jeff, that reached back out to Ross. The reason why I reached out to Ross, because I wanted him to send somebody out to fix the recording, the cameras, to install those cameras again, because this is a millionaire. And I wanted him to partner with me, plus, when we get ready to do the rehabbing and revitalizing houses. Because he told Archie when he was here and all of us was riding together, he said, if you want to get some of these houses in Baltimore City, to rehab them and all that type of stuff, he said, I got your back. And I'm going to share this with you too, Jeff. It was the Arnolds that supported that camera. Gave Ross $1 million to come into Baltimore City. So I started reaching out to the Arnolds to put $1 million into the rehab and revitalizing part of what we planning on doing. The goal is to reach out to Kevin Plank as well in Baltimore City to invest some of that money into our rehabbing and revitalizing housing program. Ed Hill to invest some of that money back into Baltimore City. Chuck Padarakis, who father built up a lot in Baltimore City in the harbor. You think I'm not going to ask them for some money to help here, to build back up in your city? Bob Wallace, black billionaire in Baltimore City. You think I'm not going to reach out to him to start reinvesting money back into building back up in the black community? So y'all want to keep talking about me? Y'all want to down me? For us to make houses affordable for the low to moderate income people? And guess what? Did you hear me one time say what I said about talking about the politicians? Did you hear me one time say the politicians, because I know how they can come up against you, mainly for you not to get the contracts to do the jobs in Baltimore City. I already know that. So will y'all let me do what I got to do to help the people? If you don't like what I'm doing, you think I'm being crooked, then stay away from this crooked dude. I was reaching out to Kevin Plank. So if a lot of y'all don't know who Kevin Plank is, you know, I don't know if y'all get his stuff up there. Under Armour. Did you miss it? And you know what somebody told me? They said, don't worry about Kevin Plank, reach out to his brother. Because his brother is doing a lot of rehabbing and revitalizing houses in Baltimore City. They told me he was over west. And I'm only sharing with y'all because if you don't know, and I tell a lot of y'all, I'm involved with our politicians. So you got to know who can do stuff and who don't want to do stuff. Even with the Gilmore projects, they slowly but surely turned them down. But they didn't have the money to start building back up. They had the money, plus Jones, to tear it down. But the reason why they didn't finish it yet, because they didn't have the money to start redeveloping. See, that's the type of stuff I am into too, y'all. But you got to know who to go to talk to. Even though with me, I got to have a team. Then on top of that, your paperwork and everything got to be in order. And guess what? Am I lying? Plus, you got to present that check to the city that you have the money to do the project. Already know. And I know who to go to. And the only reason why I know that, Jeff, I'm saying you, because when I was with part of Will Hanna up Park Heights, right? And I'm talking about well, I'm going to say landscape. It's not landscape. It's land, it'll come. But I'm going to just try to explain it. Will Hanna got about 270 houses into the land trust, right? Up Park Heights.
Developments.
Right. He needed the money.
More or less. Okay.
Right. He needed the money to do the work. And he did do the work on some of the houses. So he already showed me how much, it takes to do them. So he set me up with 30 units of Park Heights to do. We talking about, say, 10 houses a block. So we talking about building up the whole community. Developer, lender, everything. And Plus because Plus sat at the table with us at some point, right? The point was getting the money to do the project. So that 5.4 million, the way I added it up with $10,000 plus for per house. It was some in there for 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. But the thing I'm saying with like the 20,000, you didn't really have to put a lot in it to rehab the house. But when it came to the 5 and the 10, you had to put a little bit more in it. But what was taught to me that you could rehab and revitalize these houses for at least about 60 or 70,000. But you had to show the bank that you had at least 180,000. Then not only that, you got 40 to 50,000 on the tax break on it, something like that. It came off because this was years ago. So I'm just trying to remember back what the proposal and everything was all about. So that would have took the house for 40 to 50,000. That would have took the house down to around about, say, 130,000. Then you had 10,000. These are some of the programs that they have in Baltimore City that a lot of people don't know about that will cut that price down. So then you have like 10,000 that will go towards your closing costs. But guess what? Your interest rates has to be low. You got to get somebody to work on your credit score, your interest for your interest rates, I'm sorry, to be low. So I got a team for all of this. It's just pulling everybody back together. Now, the house now can go between 130 and I'm gonna say 120 for the low to moderate income people. That's your inner city people where their mortgage, if their credit scores are real low, for the interest can be around about 1 to 2%, where their payments won't be no more than maybe around about 3 to 500 a month. That's why I charge people 500, because if you show me you can at least pay 500 a month, when it comes down to you, or even 650, when it comes down to you getting a house that's around about 120 or 130, when it's all said and done, your mortgage won't be no more than that. The same way, plus, when I was writing that up about the lady's house, I mean, building and everything, I didn't realize I was doing it for myself, even though I was pricing it for her. But it was showing me what it would cause me to actually run once it's all said and done. Because God have a way of doing things, right? So, and like Plus said, you ain't gonna make no money off of that. And I knew it, but I was trying to help her. I wasn't worried about making nothing. But I knew Plus was probably like, well, why would you help in that sense? But I needed some space for the people. But I was trying to make sure she got her stuff right, because to me, she was doing me a favor. So I was trying to help her, but she stabbed me in my back. And I was just trying to help her regain the money she was putting out. That's all. And that's what happens when somebody like me reach out to help people, not realizing you're a snake, woman. You're a crut ball. And I understand you want to make money. That's not the problem. But the way you was doing it was making me look bad. And then you started a lot of chaos and confusion down in the building where my housing program is at. So until y'all really understand why people do what they do, mainly in my case, because I'm one of them big mouth bald head, and sometimes I wished I would shut my mouth, but I like sharing stuff with people, mainly when we run across a lot of snakes too, you know, um, just to warn people what to watch out for in certain cases. And then you have people that's really there for you to help you grow and mature in life. Now, the only thing I want this woman and I to do, my business in there, leave me the hell alone and let me do what I need to do. You said you want to come out of the contract. Let's sit at the table and come out of the fucking lease. Because you're starting to pluck my nerves, woman. And that's the black man inside of me right now. We got people's lives at stake. And you want to play. And you want to play. So I'm going to say this too, Chef. The next time you want to pull up some papers on me, sister, talking about I abused 2 women. No, I don't go around and beat up on women. And I realize this too, and I'm going to say it right now. The way you came for me, now I understand personally why your husband left. And I was waiting to see your message so I could let you know now. Because what you did to me, I know what you did to him. You tore his ass down. The same way my abusive wife with her mouth did me. And I realized that. I don't like when a woman come at me like that. And I'm not trying to be smart. I meant to say miss. I'm not trying to be smart. I went through that before, so I recognized certain things, but it didn't hit me till last night what you did. Because it's like that was a setup. Like it was a big setup. You wouldn't even allow me to tell you what was what. You just crucified me right then and there. I don't play that. I don't go on nobody's panels If you come on my panel, I don't care what your lifestyle is. I'm not going to sit back and throw you out there and then all of a sudden everybody jumping on me and won't let me share the truth about what happened. And you showed me you're no different than anybody coming on here using our people pain and misery to fatten up your pockets, sis. I don't play that. My live broadcast show, the Couch Talk Show, the Couch Talk Show, keeping it real. Listen to it. The Couch Talk Show, keeping it real. The freak I gotta come on here lying for? It doesn't say keeping it alive. It's called keeping it real. The truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. And I'm talking about myself with God. I ain't gotta be lying. If I see I need help with like more people, plus I'm sorry, because I know plus don't like talking about certain things. But I gotta use plus as an example because this the guy when I tell y'all about him and his wife have a $200 million project in Baltimore City. I ain't say 20. I ain't say 1. I ain't say 50. I said a $200 million project. Stop, David. Talking about did I call? I don't know if I called somebody a sucker yet. But look, that's Dr. David. But look, he got that's their stuff, David, right there at Bel Air Road, right? Yeah, I'm telling on you, plus. Because plus and his wife, woo! And people come for him too. He know it. Like, because of the great work him and his wife do. I'm just saying that. Plus, Jones and his wife have a workforce development program. And I asked him right there, well, how many type of skill classes does you have in there, right? He said 40. And he do heavy duty equipment. Bulldozers, all that. Turn down, rebuilding. And when I say that, I'm talking about commercial work. Not just residential. I'm talking about big major projects. And y'all ain't gonna like what I'm getting ready to say now. They both black. Or let me say, African American. Or let me say, what's that other word that they use? Melanated. And they give back to the community. This is what I love about this man and his wife. Great. And I met him and his wife when we was on Fox 45 News during the town hall meeting. So you talking about getting with some powerful people to help you move into a place to help guide you. And that's what I look at with him and his wife. Their company. Because I know what they all about. A lot of people graduated from their companies. And I know he probably don't mind me sharing this too. We went and looked at a building. Had a kitchen in it and everything, Jeff. Somewhat the same like this over here. And we went to look at that building. And let me share this plus. The blessing was we was looking to purchase the building, buy the building. And could equip this building with everything because it was there anyway to do everything I'm doing over here for renting or subleasing this building. So what that opportunity showed me that a building that we was looking to buy, now I'm renting and we can do all of that there. This is what I started seeing. Now we went to buy a building to leasing one and being able, Jeff, to do everything there. So you think I'm not going to ask Plus Jones to come over here now? And then we was talking about the foster kids, the young men that's aging out of the program. So the goal with all of this too, them aging out of the program, they come out now, they only have like $700 and they kicked out the homeless, out of the foster care. So the way Plus Jones and I was having it set up, he can train them, he can hire them, he can bring them in, and they get paid. They get paid to pay for their own place. And this what we was doing with the building we was looking at purchasing. But once again, it didn't fall into place the way, And it had nothing to do with me and him or nothing like that. It was just some other stuff still. In some kind of way, we winged away from it. I'm saying the persons that I was involved with. So I haven't even drove past there to see is the building open and operating. But we was trying to fill in the gap of this lady who worked with our foster care children, or mostly boys, I believe. So we was just trying to take over as far as getting the building and doing a lot of that, operating it back again. Daycare center and all of that in it. This is the same operation that I'm doing at 908. So for a lot of y'all suckers, and now I'm gonna say it. Yeah, right there on Bel Air Road. What I'm saying. That's why you should come and talk with Steve if you want to know some stuff. Come and talk with this big bald head mouth dude to really understand what's happening and why some of us do what we do. I don't have to go on Google. I don't have to go back into history. I'm 63 years old. So I don't have to go back to slavery when they set us free, or our ancestors free. Do y'all realize once they set the people free, they had to come up with government programs and state programs to take care of the people that was set free? Come on, you want to talk about social service and all that type of stuff? Look at all the people they brought over here to work the lands. Now you're going to toss them away. Homeless and less fortunate. 1619, right? So they had to create stuff. The taxpayer dollars, and somebody said that today on the show. The taxpayer dollars, right? You got low to moderate income people that pay taxes too, bro. And they talking about cutting government programs or state programs that even low to moderate income people is not going to benefit from. So a lot of times when I hear y'all say certain things, mainly when it comes to people living underneath of you, and you think you're much better than them, they pay taxes too. Some of them don't pay enough taxes where they have to get on state and government funding for food stamps, for Medicaid. And you talking about them living off your money? Them? And then on top of that, a lot of them that get state and government funding, I'm talking about like food stamps and stuff like that. The ones that's living in poverty, that has to get that extra help. That has to get that extra help to survive. They talking about cutting out these programs for them. You didn't know that? Y'all didn't know? That's where the big mouth bald head black dude come in there. Come on, Jeff.
They're trying to do it to us. They're trying to do it to us up here too. They're trying to do it to us up here too.
Mm-hmm. And y'all have no idea. Watch this.
Baltimore City is.
No, I know, Jeff. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Is Elon Musk a politician? Is Donald Trump?
He's a businessman.
Thank you. Is Donald Trump a politician? Or let me switch this up. Thank you. I'm glad you said it, because you know what I was going to say before Jeff said it. They are businessmen They don't have a degree in political science. And it flies right over your bald head. They don't have a degree in political science. So what I'm telling y'all, they are not familiar with the constitutional rights of the people or the democracy of the people. And we are allowing businessmen to run a political thing, or you know, it's power. And see, when I share stuff like this, I get scared because my thing is, here it is, I'm trying to make y'all aware of what's happening. And it might be a whole bunch of swaps to people outside. I see what they doing from the bottom up. For 40 years, I voted Democratic until I began to see with myself, my eyes, what the Democratic Party was doing. So I backed up off them because I didn't like what I was seeing. So I'm standing by myself till I met the Republicans. Matter of fact, Christopher Anderson asked me to come over, and it was 9 Republicans running for seats in Baltimore City. Christopher Anderson asked me to come over and help them win their seats, right? But I knew this. Once Brandon Scott and them seen me over there with the Republican Party, I knew they probably was going to say, oh shit, there goes Stevie over there. That's why I'm known as the big mouth boy dude. Because when you see certain things, but let me bring it back some. When I got over with the Republican Party, they was talking about all the great stuff they want to do to help the people in Baltimore City, to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, where y'all been all my life? I mean, because I'm working in the city, I'm doing what I do. But I felt like I fell in love. So when I became a Republican, and what I love about them, do not get it mixed up. They want to see people not rely and depend on state and government funding. That's what Strengthen the Community is all about, to help you be more independent where you won't have to rely on that. So they speaking my language. They speak in my language because they want to help the people to become more independent and responsible. And a lot of y'all jump on the Republican Party and don't even understand why you there. So watch the change up. They want us to become more independent. They don't want us to rely on other countries or cities, stuff like that. That's what Donald Trump doing, law-wise. Now, I shouldn't have jumped that far yet, but they want to see us to become more independent and doing our own things. But they don't have programs to put in place for us to actually do it. That's what business is like. Jeff come in, I come in, because now it's policies and it's laws. There's no solutions. We are the solution towards the problems. That's where it separates people like me or myself with other business people. We're actually coming in with the work that needs to be done. So when y'all brag about Donald Trump, this Donald Trump, that, number one, remember, he's not a politician. And guess what? For every person they hire, the same way you pay taxes, you pay 7.5%, state, federal. Who you think pay the other 7.5%, which adds out to be 15? Your boss, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, pay taxes for you for working for them. Y'all ain't know that? Y'all ain't know it? Study your stuff. So guess what they rather do? Send away the immigrants. Send away the illegal ones. Let them break law. Put them in prison. That's the big old slave plantation. And a lot of our men and women are working them for less money. Y'all ain't know that. Y'all ain't know it? They businessmen.
Like what?
They
3
businessmen.
or 4 cents a day or something
Thank
like
you.
that.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. And they are in a lot of warehouses.
They're working for like 3 to 5 cents per day. That's not no money. That is definitely slave wages.
It's called cheap labor. And you heard what Jeff just said. You heard what Jeff just said. Cheap labor. And y'all boasting and bragging. Yeah. Well, see, guess what? They got these farms out here, right, with a lot of immigrants, and I'm gonna just say people was working, right? Illegal immigrants, whoever was working them. So y'all know a lot of farmers talking about not having nobody to work the farms. So do y'all know in certain cities there's a lot of prisoners that's starting to work these farms? Now, they don't get a lot, but if you look at it, what they doing, the same way in 1619, they went and brought them over here from Africa. But y'all know they had to take care of the slaves, feed them, clothe them, because they couldn't go around naked like that. So you got to give them something. You got to do something for them. Even if it's hand-me-downs, it's raggedy. So what y'all think happening in 2025? And y'all cheering them on.
All it's doing is just repeating itself.
Yep. You see what I did, Jeff?
That's exactly. It's a rotating circle, is what it is. Everything that was going on back then is coming back up now. That's all it is.
Right in your face. And see, this is what makes me
in your face, and you're happy about it.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And see, this is what bothers me, right? I know that I hate the fact that they playing us. I see the way they playing us. But now, too, they didn't become billionaires, millionaires, and billionaires by themselves. It took the employees doing the work to help them get where they at. So now, if you got employees that you paying, say, $200,000 a year or something like that, and you got men and women in prison that's just intelligent as the ones you got in there, that's all you got to do is dress them up. And they're hush hush. Because the point is, they're glad to be out from just around the walls. They're very conservative and smart, but they just made a mistake with certain things where the rest of their life might be they're in prison now. But what they're doing, they're buying off some time. Now, mind y'all, I didn't understand all of this until 2 years ago when I got arrested. And God did it to open up my eyes for something that I never really paid attention to. But what happened was I was watching how some guys will go and work in the kitchen and do everything just to make a little $3 a day. So I was seeing it. And I started doing this with the correctional officers, mainly the ones that's in there doing destructive stuff too, like fighting amongst each other and like stuff like that. The correction officers was coming for me. Mr. Copeland, don't be telling them this, don't be telling them that, because I was trying to encourage him and motivate him, blah, 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 right? So all of a sudden, some people started coming for me, certain ones, and I knew what it was because they was telling me to shut up. Don't try to feed them good information to help them grow and prosper once they leave here. But it was others that knew who OG was, and they had OG back. So I was listening to what somebody was saying earlier, and Ghost, when he was talking about the prison. But a lot of them protected me. Because one, they knew I was something different. They knew it was something different about me. Let me put it like that. They knew it was something different. And my goal, once I told them and I started understanding that everybody in prison didn't commit a crime. You understand what I'm saying? To be there. So I understood how the police itself can come up with some false charges. And I really started understanding, y'all, the power of the pen and the paper. I used to hear it a lot, but I seen it for myself. And not only saying that, I see what they doing now. So I don't know, be honest with you, because of what I do, they might be sending certain people into my building, my housing program, to try to set me up again. See, I already know, but I'm hoping that's not what's really happening. Accusing me of certain things that I didn't do. So that's why, to a degree, when I say I'm the big mouth, bald head black dude, sometimes I gotta shut my mouth. Sometimes I gotta shut up when it comes to stuff like that. Because sometimes when you run off at your mouth too much, you will make it seem like you covering up for something. But when you shut your mouth and let stuff take its place, that same people or person that's trying to accuse you of something that you didn't do will tell on themselves. Now, y'all hear all about, and I'm just going here with this to show y'all how certain things work. My board member, when Miss Deborah was lying on me, talking about he ain't give me no money, he ain't this, he ain't that, and then she turned around and said, oh, yes, he do, blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to say, see, I told y'all, I ain't say nothing. Know why? Because my director did me like this. Because she started telling on herself. But she wanted to kind of argue with me. And I got receipts for everything I give you, sis. But my director, that's why I say your mouth. Because sometimes you don't have to do nothing now wrong. But just justifying. And I mean, even though you share your truth, it's like you justifying. And that's what I started learning, dealing with the police department too. They are about law. So when you break them, they trying to see where can I get you at on something. And my thing was, I know you ain't had nothing to get me on unless you wanted to create them. Because I kept telling them, my staff was here. My staff seen everything. I said, go get them and talk to them. Oh, no. They was eyewitnesses. See what I'm saying? Because you ain't going to try to do that to me. When I got people that seen stuff with their own 2 eyes, I ain't got to tell you nothing. I'll let them tell you. That's why I was like this. Don't talk to me. Huh? Yeah. What you coming to talk to me for? Because you don't listen to nothing I say. And that's what I had to tell the police. Because I understand. And it's not being smart. Don't get it wrong. They're about law. So they trying to see where you fit at with breaking a crime or breaking the law. Because that's what they want to tag you on. It might be one little thing spitting on the ground. And they'll put 10 charges on that one. You spit on the ground, but you spit in the corner. You spit in the middle of the street, but you spit behind the tree. So you messed up the tree. You did this, you did that. And I asked the police one day, I said, why if a person get locked up for one thing, like carrying an illegal pew-pew, right? Just an illegal pew-pew. You just carrying it. He ain't hurt nobody, ain't do nothing with it. Why do y'all put 20 charges on that one? They giving the prosecutor other stuff to charge you with. See how they can better fit a crime for you. I ain't understand none of that. Listen to what I'm saying. I ain't understand it until they did what they did with me. And then to turn around and find out, right? And I'm sharing some stuff with y'all because, see, when I speak out when it comes to the Innocent Project, right? Stuff like that, I can tell you because of what happened to me. I ain't got to tell you in theory. I ain't got to tell you what my cousin said. I ain't got to tell you what my brother said. I'm sharing it with you from personal experience. And I can tell you this. They kidnapped me and they hid me because of my big mouth. They wouldn't allow me to talk to a judge. They wouldn't allow me to tell what was really going on. And they'll do it again if you're not careful. If you know the laws, you got it. But when you don't really know, like myself, I'm not educated in the area, I had to tell my own self, hire a lawyer, Steve, because you know how your mouth is. And I'm only sharing the truth with you, but it might not be what you want to hear. That's why I had to hire a lawyer, Jeff, because I know my mouth. And I have a tendency when it comes to certain things of telling the truth. But it might not be the truth that they want to hear. I learned all of that, y'all. I'm 61 years old. I learned all of that just from what happened to me. And my friend, Lady J, that Joe mentioned, Lady J goes into the prison. She's a minister. So the ex-offenders and stuff she worked with ones that wrote books and everything. That's why I was telling him don't do that. Because Lady J does a lot of work with our ex-offenders, our returning citizens. A lot of them got books that they wrote when they was over to prison. It was a guy that was on the phone that's in prison that was doing some time. I don't know how long he got. But anyway, his daughters was over there selling their books. Those are some of the books. I brought their book and I took some of the pictures and posted them on my page. And I know you probably seen them, Jeff. But that was for the children.
Yeah, I saw it.
Thank you. Now let me share this, and I want to make this real clear because I'm over on my restream too. Why everything that I'm saying that we do to better Baltimore City? How come y'all always find a way to go in and try to tear something I say apart? Do y'all know how embarrassing that is to me? Mainly for some of my church members, and I know how we are as far as the person we're under and the person we're being taught by, real active in the community. But some of us are so holier than thou. And I see it. And a lot of y'all, to be truthful with me, for the stuff that I'm out in the streets doing and y'all leaving me by myself, y'all like it an embarrassment to me. Mainly when I look at Christ's mission, how Christ and the disciples came back into the community. So what we have a tendency of doing, we will talk about everybody else's story. We done moved away from Christ. We moved away. Even they have a purpose for what they do and serve, no matter if it's spiritually, earthly wise. I look at them in the community. I look at them serving the people. And I can only say that right. Because even the people with the third eye. And it's not as much, whether you believe in Jesus Christ or not, I watch what you do. I look at the human being and what you're doing to actually give back. Not just preach or share your knowledge or your research. I'm looking to see what you are actually doing. Share with me what you're doing, because see, that's what encourages me and motivates me to help me to understand that I'm walking wise, that I am doing the right things. And then when you tell me stuff like this, that how people attack you because you live in, doing some righteous practice and stuff like that. When you tell me those things, then I understand you'll suffer. You suffer too because of what you do. But when you don't do that to me, it will make me feel like, and I know I ain't doing nothing wrong, but it will make me feel like I'm by myself. And I know I'm not. But sometimes it will make me feel like I'm by myself. Where's his people? Where is his where's his God-fearing, like-minded people? And if I say I love Christ, if I say I love God, my goal is to be a living example, to emulate him. That's why when I tell y'all, if I say I'm a Christian, I'm only saying I'm a loving, caring, kind, considerate man. That's all. I didn't say the religious side of nothing. If I say I'm a Christian, or I say I'm a follower, or I say I'm a lover, I'm speaking of my personality. I'm speaking of my character. Don't get it mixed up when I yell and I scream, because he got mad too. If he didn't get mad, he wouldn't have turned over that table. So I don't know what then happened with a lot of us as church-going people as well. And then we get in our little cliques. Even when I was deep into a lot of the stuff in the church, and when I say that, I sung with the men's ministry. I became one of the, I acted out like theater-wise. I was an usher. Got very involved. Became a deacon. I didn't care to sit on the front row because I didn't want to be like out in the front like that. I'm only doing what I was called to do. Christ might have been more humble. He might didn't get loud. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you this. Yes, he did. And I'm going to tell you why. Anytime he would preach or he would teach and he would talk, he would always be in an open place. So wherever his voice would go, it would echo. So it had to be in an area where his voice would echo, mainly through the crowds. So what tends to happen with Steve Copeland, right? I'll start off low and then watch how I go. Pew! And you know what y'all will do? Oh, you shouldn't act like that. Or you shouldn't behave like that. You should. Why are you telling me how I should do what I do, when you don't come out and help feed his people? When you don't come out and embrace the community like he did him, but didn't he tell? Want me to read the scripture? Didn't he come when he came into the city? Well, when he came back from the time he had disappeared for a while, didn't he come back and tell them, the fishermen that was real good at fishing, didn't he tell them, come, follow me? They didn't know Christ. They followed a stranger. Come, follow me. They didn't know him. But he said, come, follow me. I will make you fishers of men. He was talking about people. He came into the world. He came in to embrace the people, to encourage them, to motivate them, to help build up on them. I'm talking about on themselves. Please tell me I'm wrong. Can somebody come back and tell me I'm wrong? Huh? He fed them. He helped the ones that had more food than the others. He taught them how to share. He helped them share. He helped them share and encourage each other. Tell me I'm wrong. Huh? Please tell me where I'm wrong at. I read Bible just like y'all. But I had to understand what was my purpose. What was my mission? I'm walking in it. I just have a hell of a way of doing it. With my temporary housing program, I'm like dad. I'm like unc. I'm like granddad. So a lot of people, sometimes I have to come in and I have to come in with authority. Because if they feel as though they can play me and take over, they're going to do it. And I'm talking about people that don't show their mothers, don't show their fathers, don't show their families no respect. That's why they don't want them in their households. You ain't gonna mistreat me like that. You got to get out and take my grandkids with you. Now, I ain't talking about the ones that just fell on hard time. I'm talking about the ones that's being disrespectful. You don't get it. So whenever you come to me, the goal is to discipline you. Your mother, your father, your family is too close. And sometimes because of the way they do it, you know they family. So that's discipline. You might not like it, but you too close. So sometimes you got to hand them over to somebody else, like Mr. Copeland, because I'm not family. And I ain't gonna be taking this bullshit, and y'all ain't gonna come in here like that. Blah, 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 blah. Y'all get it? That's why I gotta come at them like this sometimes. Sam, if I take my belt off, I'm talking about grown people, but they know Uncle Steve be playing. Don't make me take off my belt. Ask him. Ask my clients. They'll tell you he mean, he this, he that. Yup. Because I'm only trying to put structure back in their life. I'm only trying to put structure back in their life. But it takes somebody like me, and be honest with you, a lot of times they want to knock my head off. But y'all call it being mean and nasty, and you only let them in your house. I like, listen to this bull junk. They want to call and talk mess, right? And you can't even discipline your own freaking children. So it takes Mr. Steve to try to put back in them what you instilled in them. And they want to fight against. Y'all miss it. Y'all miss the program. What is it, Jeff? The 5 phases, the 5 steps of building back their lives.
Phases. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the 5 phases. First, we get you in. Second, we get you back on track. Third, we get you a job. We get you training. We get you to doing what you're supposed to do. The 4th phase, you should be just about ready to go and get your new permanent spot for phase 5.
You get the key.
Your 5th phase is your last stage, which is you go get your key to your own apartment or to your own house or to whatever of your choosing. Your own key.
You hear what he's saying?
So that's the 5 phases. And I'm the one that helped put the 5 phases together. Because number one, once you get a phone call, you have to sign up for the mental health program. That's automatic. That's automatic. I don't give a damn who you are, where you are, or whatever. The 2nd phase is we get you in. The 3rd phase is where you should be somewhat where you need to be, where you're able to work, keep a job, be able to afford your bills. 4th stage, like I said, is you're going to see a broker about getting your own home. 5th stage, you get your key. We ain't trying to keep you long. We only trying to keep you less than 6 months if necessary. Because this is
I like what Jeff said that.
Where we are just housing you for a couple of days to get you where you need to be so you can have your own. But you got to learn how to do it yourself.
And
We ain't
see,
gonna hold your hand.
I love what Jeff.
We're not gonna hold your hand.
Hey Jeff, let me say this. I love what Jeff just said, right? Because the same way I be explaining it to the clients and we sit in 1-to-1, and I turn around and I tell them like this: once you're ready and you're doing all the necessary things, like Jeff was saying with the 4th phase, is once your paperwork and everything in order, and you have to have your money for your place, stuff like that, just to get you prepared for a certain amount. And then I'll turn around because Jeff kind of made me laugh. because it's just a temporary thing. And then I tell my clients like this, and I'm gonna turn around and kick your butt right out of here because you got the key to your affordable place. And they don't do nothing but bust out laughing. Because the goal, like Jeff said, is not for us to keep you too long. And I tell people to give me like a 90-90. When I say give me a 90-90, the point is I know you're not going to change overnight. And Jeff understand that process. We know you're not going to change overnight. So some things we have to do is repetitiously. Where somebody have to come in, they have to talk to you, they have to encourage you, they have to motivate you. But it's to get rid of that old way of thinking and doing things. So I know you're not going to change overnight. But you have to give us time. And that's where the professionals come on, Jeff.
No, we both know that.
Right.
I'm also 35 years clean this over.
And see,
so it's not like you're getting an idiot that don't know how to put the 12 steps into a program to help somebody else out. Come on. Really?
Stop, Jeff.
You don't have to
Stop. Don't tell people our Chinese secret.
To do this. You don't have to be a rocket scientist.
Because look, you heard what Jeff said. Jeff has 35.
I have done 90 meetings and I have done 180 meetings in 90 days. Okay, so it can be done.
Jeff, wait a minute, Jeff.
It's up to you. It's up to you to want it.
Jeff,
That's what it is.
Jeff, hold on.
If you're not wanting it, then sorry, we gotta let you go.
Yep. Jeff, look. Look, I don't be telling y'all straight out, right? Jeff got 35 years clean. I have 32. So basically what I'm doing is teaching you the 12 steps. We're teaching you the 12 steps. So we're using the 12 spiritual principles, steps wise, and the traditions, because we have laws to follow and stuff like that. And then not only that, the 12 concept is the business side of the NA program. So I don't say those words to y'all, but that's the same process we use. So for me, right, my clients, and Jeff too, I got to put Jeff in it. What we're doing, we are considered as life coaches. What we are doing, they are considered to us as our sponsees. Y'all don't get it. It's like they my sponsees. And that's why me and Jeff do what we do. And we are teaching them how to gain a new way of life. And I can sit here and share that with all of y'all, therapists, psychiatrists. We only giving them what they was taught. They had to go to school and do their research and do their studies on the same information that me and Jeff is working with people with. That's why a lot of y'all can't relate to what we be saying. Because the journey is spiritual now. Don't get it wrong. It's spiritual. And if y'all want me to go deeper, when it gets into the Bible, right? Because the 12-step program was written from the Bible, where it teaches you to live by some morals, values, and principles. But then if you look at the 12 books, wait a minute, Jeff. If you look at the laws of Moses, they are policies that God said he wants us to live by. So now you got a lot of Bible thumpers, right? I'm only coming at you with the same thing, but in my own language. So now, let me do this again. Now, we're only teaching you what God told Moses, and those are the laws. Those are the same laws. The 5 books of Moses are the laws that they're using today to either help you mature in life or to tear you apart. That's the laws that they use. Now, people saying stuff like the laws of the land and this don't apply to that. No, God told you in the word, in the books of Moses, the laws not to do certain things. And if you do it, you break it, you get punished. Now, here goes Steve and Jeff. We understand that. So basically what we're doing, we're teaching you to live accordingly. Because if you break the laws, you get punished. Look what slavery came in at. Slavery was a form of punishment, a form of control. Don't let me do this to you. Don't let me do it. Because what I'm teaching you and showing you how people can entrap us now, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The goal with Jeff and I and the people that we work with is to break that, because we see it. So the goal is to break it and to help you get rid of that slave man mentality. Certain words I can't use. So rather than me saying these things, we have created programs with solutions.
More or less, I think
Come on, Jeff.
basically what it is, I think what it is basically in a nutshell, we can show you better than we can tell you.
He said it.
Because without, with us just telling you, we can talk a good game, but then when we pull it off and show y'all what we were talking about, y'all are going to look at us real strange, like, damn, we should have listened. But y'all ain't listening to us. So the best thing to do is to show y'all what we're capable of doing with your solutions. And y'all got the problem. The solutions is getting ready to come in and take care of your problem. And I'm coming from a different state to help y'all with y'all problem. Y'all coming to help me with my problem if I have one.
And don't take.
And say, OG.
Don't.
I'm just. It's not. No. I'm just saying.
Don't take what OG saying. Wait a minute, OG. When he said y'all, don't take it in a negative way. Don't take it in a negative way.
Don't take me serious.
You're right, because that's like saying you. Well, he's saying you, but it's all. When he go you all, he's not just talking about, because number one, we're talking about re-educating people, so it has nothing to do with a color or anything like that, I pronounced it wrong, but ethnicity. Because certain things, and Bear Fan, I seen you just come up. And I know you're not like this. I just want to say this. Certain people that I listen to, when you talk about we need to build our own land, we need to build our own space, we have it. We have it. See, you trying to go back to something that you don't understand. The Black Wall Street is right where you at. Right? It ain't going nowhere. Because you got certain people who can afford to live a certain lifestyle because they work to be able to afford nicer things. Let me put it like that. To live more in a constructive neighborhood, where they don't have to.
I'm about to be a part of that. I'm about to be a part of history down there because I'm about to be on that Black Wall Street too. Oh man!
And not only that, because Jeff, I just thought about this. Listen to what I was telling y'all. And one of the guys that I was talking about, let me see if he's still right there. I don't know if he's still there because I can't see his picture. But look, he does development. When I say he does commercial, developmental stuff, blah, 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 blah. When I say he does stuff, he's a multimillionaire. And his goal is to build back up in the poor community. But he's talking about building not just a house or two. Right. That's what, let me, because that's why I want Jeff a part of this. Because we're talking about on a larger scale.
We're talking about building up communities, not just one community, communities, plural, more. So therefore, when we come in, we are developing a whole new society for Baltimore City. But Baltimore City is not the only one that we're helping. There's quite a few other
I'm glad he said
cities that I am helping. Baltimore City is just not the only one that I'm helping. I have 7 other spots that I still have to go to be able to run the same program here in Baltimore City that I can take to my other cities that I am getting ready to open up in. See, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that thanks to my beautiful wife, who is no longer here with me. This was her project. This was not my ideal. This was her ideal. She set me up for success because she knew I could take it and run with it. So the best way for me to tell y'all is just to show y'all what I can do. I can tell you anything in the world, but if I can't show you, then I'm full of it. But I'm the one where you tell me once, it's gonna get done the right way.
And I just thought about this, Jeff, while you was talking. I just thought about this. And what we were saying the other day, I started out with 2 houses, right? Transitional houses. Then I was getting ready to open up a 3rd, and I was getting ready to open up a 4th just before this happened. The landlord that was renting with my niece and I, he told me because of my program, he was going to give me several houses to, run for him. The whole goal with people, y'all, who have real estate property, they just want you to pay your way. And not only do they want you to pay your way, they want you to maintain their facilities or their homes. So when you have a program like ours, right, and we are willing to teach people how to be more responsible and productive, and when you have real estate agents that does that, now I have to mention Sam, right? I got to mention this guy Sam. He's a black man, and he has a lot of properties. And every time I turn around, he's showing property where people tore his stuff apart. He showed a property, Jeff, that was bug infested. Looked it horrible. And I'm saying, Sam, reach out to me. Sam, call me. Because my goal is I want to put people into this man places that will take care of his stuff. So this is the goal. And I mean, he even had a pastor in a facility that got 10,000 behind in his rent. Messed the place up as far as he tore it up and left. I said, Sam, reach out to me. Because whenever I'm in a facility, I'm renting your facility, I'm going to do what I can to maintain it. So I'm not going to ask you for money to do this and that unless it's way out of my pocket, right? But I will do what I can to take care of your stuff like it's mine. This is the same way I do with my clients to help them be responsible and productive. Now, Sam, I don't know how big this building is, but this man got so much stuff and so much stuff is tore up. Do y'all realize everything he's showing that he has to fix back up? That's money coming out of his pocket. Because people went in there and disrespected this man's stuff. And he's a melanin, he's a black man. That's why I asked him to reach out to me so that we can put a plus, where we can put more responsible and productive people in his place. I got another company that I reached out to about a client of mine. They got property that they want to put people in. But the thing with strengthening the community is to help prepare you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Not only that, to teach you how to maintain that place. People is willing to work with you, but then you don't wonder why. Do you wonder why they charging you triple? Well, security. Number one, if you get in a house that's 900, you know you got security, you got to pay 18. But then when they give you double security, 9 times out of 10, check it out, your credit score is not that good. Or you got a certain amount of eviction notices where they don't really want you in like that. But what they doing with the second chance program that we started, because of Mr. Copeland, and because of that second chance forgiveness program, we're going to work with you. But now, one of my clients called me. They want $1,300. So you know when you step in, you should have stepped in with 2,600. So they doubled the security. They want 39. And you know what pissed me off? She broke her neck to want to get something, and she ain't even had the proper money to get the place. I said, come on now. Why y'all? Come on. Before I move you into a permanent place, you gotta make sure, mainly if you know they charging 1,300, right? Let's say that. And gas and electric included. That's beautiful because then you know it's only 1,300 for a 3-bedroom. So anyway, because there's more to it. But anyway, when she went, she only had 2,000. I'm like, huh? Why would you do that? Because you know, if you say you can afford at least 13, you should already have that 26 before you go. Right? Now, with the other security deposit, this is what I did. It was double security. I called the owner. Jeff, because this is what I was telling the owner. I said, I need you to work with them with the housing program, as far as the HUD housing program. So I actually thought they was going to get in for cheaper, but they didn't qualify for the HUD housing part of it. But I understood that too then. But if you can afford 13 each month, because you got to show them, basically I'm gonna do it like this. You get 1,300 a week that's coming in. Not every 2 weeks. Someone will work with you, but not every 2 weeks. It has to be at least a week to cover it. 1,300 that you bringing in for a $1,300 place. Now, like I said, some will work with you. But if you don't have it, then why would you tell me that, but you don't have your money saved to take the next step? Now, I'm not pleased. Don't understand this. I am not blaming it on her, but I should have checked it more out to make sure that she had everything covered. Not just her, because this is what our program is about. If you can afford 900, you make sure you have that 1,800 ready, because they're going to ask for security. Now, if they ask for double amount of security, this is where I come in at, to ask them to remove that double amount. But you got to be straightforward. So now this where I'm at with that, Jeff, and family. Now I got to make sure that I see they got the money straight with my own 2 eyes before I send them. Because number one, you ain't even go down there to put in the lease application with all your money. You made me think you was ready. So now I gotta, with my own 2 eyes, to make sure that they are better prepared. And these are lessons for me to better prepare you, because I have people that put in applications with them. Like one lady needed 4 bedrooms, and then she had 2 dogs. Now, if you go to his facility and he wants 1,500 for the 4 bedrooms, which is fine, and you can afford it, which is great, because I always ask them. I'm not going to send you. I will ask you first, how much can you afford? And if you don't have that money saved up, don't go put in no application yet. Don't. That's all I'm saying. So once you clear with me and we understand, and I see that you are already prepared, but if you rushing because you saying you can afford this and you can afford that, but you go and you do this and that, I can get you somewhere else if they don't allow you in. But then the next one might do the same things, because if your money is not ready, your money got to be ready. So what that taught me, y'all, to be honest with you, and I don't like to go too deep and personal with people, but now you're going to have to actually show me that you actually have the funding to get into this place. Because I'm speaking out for you and any real estate developer or anybody in that sense that I'm sending you to for my second chance housing program. You have to be lined up. Everything got to be lined up. because I'm your mouthpiece. You cannot go down there. You put in an application, but you don't have the money to pay like lease your first and your security. Right then and there, it's showing them, it's showing me that you cannot afford it. And that's what it did. That's what it did. It showed me that they wasn't really ready, even though they came in temporarily. And it's like they come in and they want to hurry up and run without really saving, without really preparing. So another one of my clients that I talked to, I told him to start saving his money to make sure, because he went to get something that was only 900. Went and looked at the house and everything. God was gonna let him in and all that. He ain't even had the money. I said, bro, you can't do that. You cannot do that. So that's why I said, for me, I gotta double check you. And I don't want to be that strict because you're grown. But you never tell somebody that you can afford this and you can afford that, and you really don't have it. Because I can only go off of you, but now I gotta look now to make sure you got your finances straight. Because that's the whole point of us teaching you. But I don't check your bank account. You get me?
Well, no, that's where we'll come in and we'll help them with their credit. We'll help them with their finances. This is what the whole program is basically about.
Now, if they, remember I told you the other day, with certain people, we'll do this. But keep in mind, you can't put somebody somewhere that they're not ready to really just start out. You can't do it because they don't have nothing saved up, even though we can pay something, say like for 3 months. But, and I'm only sharing this because this just popped in my head too. Dealing with this social worker, they paid for this family to be there. And this charity, this church paid for this guy to be there for the month of May. They covered May. So now it's June. They have to cover for this month themselves. They have to cover it. So my goal in saying that, and remember I was telling you the other day, if we can get like, I'm gonna say state or government funding programs or churches or DSS to pay at least about 3 months if they get into a permanent place. Or, oh God, I'm looking at the temporary. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the temporary. If they can pay it just for the temporary housing part of it, we can prepare them to make sure by the time they leave for that 90th day, they have all that money and working to be able to work and afford the place. Now, everybody can wait a minute, Jeff. Everybody cannot. That's where HUD housing come in at. And if you got a program, HUD housing can let you in according to your income. Then you have Section 8 that they can get you on or in that will pay most of that rent too. But once again, it's going by your the person income. Right. And like I said too, what Mr. Allen was telling me, some people, and this is probably the senior citizens place, right? Where you can get in and Medicare will pay for your housing portion. And it might just be with the regular house too. But now my healthcare provider is trying to find out how we can get people into the housing program and the state pays for it. So that's a blessing too, right? But now you gotta qualify because we finding out by you being in therapy or you getting that type of help, you have it has to be an ongoing thing for them to actually pay your expenses for housing. So that's why I call myself getting with the director of HUD housing so that I can find out the housing programs that they have to help people with their rent. Because that's what I do. So now dealing with Mr. Allen, because he have a contract, he's contracted with HUD housing, and he was telling me about how he can cover you with their expenses under his business. So rather than me running to the director, I got somebody right here that better understand what can be done. And he was sharing with me some other programs.
So basically, you have the right person you need to go to for that solution.
Right. And see, people gotta like I say, when you come into our housing program, Jeff, the stuff that we're offering, we are preparing you. Now, Mr. Allen, the part I like
preparing you for success.
Right. The part I like with Mr. Allen.
Preparing you for success.
Wait a minute, Jeff. The part I like with Mr. Allen, he said it straight out. And this is a Jewish guy. He know my housing program is temporary. He know the program is temporary to permanent housing. Let me do it again. He know it's temporary. He said, I'm the permanent side. I said, oh, shucks. Because he know. He know. He know you are preparing them. And he said, I got the houses. Or you know, like the apartments, the studios. He's telling me everything. Because he know they can't stay but so long. So now, Jeff, when we deal with people with property, real estate investors, they just want people in their places. Listen to what I keep saying, y'all. That's going to maintain and don't tear up their places. Not only that, they want to make sure you pay your rent on the first of every month. Or not just the first, because what I have to tell y'all, on the first, and if you pay it anywhere past the fifth, it is considered as late. So I'm only teaching you what you need to do.
We get charged for that.
Right.
We get charged.
That's why a lot of y'all, and it's not being smart, if you don't understand the process, shut up. Shut up. Because when you come back, if you can't add, don't get it wrong. If you can't add to help, to better help people to understand what's what, then my thing is shut up. Now, because don't jump into this mode right here. I'm telling you what's strengthening the community. I'm telling you what the Latanya G. Copeland house is all about, right? I'm telling you what we do. And I'm telling you the full wraparound services that we offer from the professionals. I'm telling you. So when you come in, hey son, when you come in and you start doing this and you start doing that, you are discouraging people or you pushing them away from really understanding what they need to do to grow. And when you don't understand, or you already responsible and you already taking care of your business, we talk about people that don't understand what really how to be more responsible and productive. That's basically all it is. So we teaching them again.
Right.
But when you come in with your 2 cents and like
it's understandable. I mean, you know, some of these people that we are about to help have never had that responsibility. So, you know, this is a learning experience for them too, as much as it is for us, because we're the ones that's reaching out our hands, helping these people that are less fortunate than us to be able to do this and to afford their own place. Boy, you know how many people would jump. Ooh-wee.
And the first thing y'all come out y'all mouth. The first, not you, Jeff.
Right now, because I'd be the first one in this house.
Look,
I'd be the first one in a place. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, I'd be the first one in one of these places.
And then look, y'all will go back behind me right now. I tell you everything I do with the strength in the community. Oh, he's a scammer. He's a bammer. He's a thief. Why are y'all discouraging people from getting the proper help they need? Oh, he's a bammer scammer. What?
Prove it.
That's what, hey Jeff, that's where I be at. But I start understanding that miserable people Miserable people. And that's a form. And I'm telling you, when you talk against anything somebody doing positively and show you, I don't have a problem. I tell you, I got that box truck. My goal is I got to get my box truck fixed. The window need replaced. I need to get a new ignition, but I'm stealing money. My window's still broke. I don't have a new ignition in it. My car in the shop, but I'm stealing money. Why my shit ain't fixed? But I'm stealing money. See how people come in and I need to steal some money to get my stuff fixed. Jeff, I need to steal some money to get my damn stuff fixed. I need to steal some money to go get my teeth fixed. But y'all will come in and share some stuff and don't realize, a lot of y'all do. Y'all don't realize that ain't nothing but the devil. I don't like saying stuff like that, but I realize y'all some sick, twisted people when you come in and you want to try to downgrade somebody that don't get government funding. And somebody sent me this too by me saying that for a place that get government funding and they under investigation, don't have none of the services that I provide for the people. I ain't hear y'all talk bad about them. And they get government funding. But y'all gonna sit up here and you got a big mouth bald black dude, right? That's just sharing positive information with y'all, but y'all don't like the way he bring it. Well, excuse me, y'all. See, what happened was, understand this. I'm speaking to people that knows and want the proper help to know that we offer that. I am not a joke. I'm not like some of y'all that want to discourage people from moving forward in life. That's not my mission. And the reason why I've been saying with people that I have a ninth grade education, I'm only telling you I'm more intelligent than you. That's my way of saying it. And they still get offended. I ain't even got a college degree. I ain't even got a PhD. I ain't even got a MOCP. But I just want you to know I'm smarter than you ever been in your life. And don't try me. And that's why I say it. I got a ninth grade education.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. I want you to try me. I really do. You think I play stupid? No. Watch how I play real stupid and then wait and see what I do. Then you're gonna be like, oh, he ain't as stupid as he thinks he is. Oh, wait till that happens. Oh boy.
With a ninth grade education.
What's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen now? I play stupid for a reason. I do, brother. I play real stupid for a reason. I let people take advantage of me for a reason, dude. Because then that way, when it's time to show them what I'm really about, I can shut them up real quick. See?
Hey, Jeff, what you saying? I showed them evidence. Jeff, we show them evidence. Post pictures for y'all. Show you stuff that how we came in and we beautified certain things and y'all still go into denial. He ain't this, he ain't that. Can walk you through apartments that's nice, neat, clean. Oh, he ain't this, he ain't that. And I show it to y'all. And you're still jumping to denial. But it's not for me. Keep in mind, whenever you call yourself coming up against me, you're not coming up against me because I'm not stopping what I do. You're discouraging the people.
You're coming up against us.
That one too. But you're discouraging the ones that's looking for the proper help. So it's not me. I'm not the sick individual. I'm not the one that's causing the chaos and confusion. I'm not the ones that putting out lies. I'm showing y'all my truth. And the sad part about it, you see it for yourself. You see everything I do to help in Baltimore City to build up, and you will make me out to be the crook every time. I'm like, this is some sick bull junk. Because you so intelligent. Just like I was talking to the lady earlier, she's a nurse. She can this, she can that. I said, I can hire you to come and work for me. But see, not being smart, she started knocking certain things. Don't do that with me because you are highly intelligent. And I'm like, Miss, even though you are a nurse and you do what you do, I'm the one that can hire you if I need you to come in and service the clients. You can't. I said, oh, and people was trying to tell her because it's transitional, baby. So I need the professionals like you. You just got to show me your credentials that you can service the people. So that's the difference when you running off at your mouth about something compared to somebody that can give you clients. And she missed it. She missed it. And then she started talking about, well, I would have to get credentials to send people to your stuff. And I gotta go check it out. I gotta do this. I said, Miss, I used to do foster care, so I know how they want your property up to code and stuff like that. I already know this and that. Well, see, CPS, I said I deal with CPS too, because guess what? If it's a child that need to come in to be with their parents, I know how to go talk for them with a 9th grade education. And I only said to be smart. You got a degree. You did the research. I got personal experience and was a licensed foster care provider. So I know what they want. I know how they want the mother or the father to be able to take care of their children again. I know that. I know how they want that person's room to be. A lady sent me some information because I said I want to get some more bids, right? About 50. Nobody responded. A lady sent me a bid of this to sign up for. And it talks about giving out bids for children between, I think, well, young to 17. Let me put it like that. Where they give you free bids. And that's what a lot of, say, like foster care, CPS, or stuff like that, when they deal with a person like me, they want to make sure that that room is well equipped for their child. Already know. Already know. Because I dealt with them. So the only thing I'm doing, and that's why a lot of people not being smart, please listen. Please listen. I can only share with you from a level of experience because I've done foster care. I've done mentoring young men. So you know you have to be certified. So they're going to check your background checks to make sure you're not a smecker. You know what I mean? So when I say certain things, even with what's going on with me now, with certain little things, because I did not do nothing to be in the place that I'm in. Bear, that's where the social worker come in at. Because they do, and I'm gonna say this, they do, but because Elon Musk and Donald Trump and them talking about cutting off a lot of the state and government funding. Now, I want to make this clear to a lot of y'all too. When they cut these programs out completely, ask them for your tax money. See, all that sounds good. And understand this too. And I'm going to show you where I'm at. Even though they cutting out a lot of the state and government funding programs, bad fans, because I deal with certain politicians, I know where to go to get the money for mine, to help them. So the more they cutting out, watch this, y'all, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. The more they cutting out these state and government funding programs, because of what we do with the facility that I have, it's going to bring more people in. So it's going to cost money. So now here come the big mouth, bald head, black dude, because you got to know where the money actually going to, because they're holding back on the money. That's all. A lot of the programs cannot be completely cut out as long as you're paying your taxes, because that's what the money goes to. But they blocking certain things for y'all who don't really know how to go around and get it done. And that's where, watch this, and I'll say it over, and I'll say it over, and I'll say it over. That's where the big mouth, bald head, black dude come in. Because I know certain politicians that has the funding. You just got to go talk to them one on one. That ain't something that happened overnight. And the reason why I'm saying that ain't something that happened overnight, Donald Trump, which y'all don't really understand and get, does not or should not have control over government funding. The Treasury Department, basically, he should not. That's why I can't understand how he was able to hold on to that money from coming down the pipe. Because that's Congress. And not just Congress, but what I'm saying, that's Treasury money. So it's supposed to go back into the community. It's supposed to go to these government funded or state funded programs to help support it. So what they doing for people that do get funding, they just slowing up the money. And if you're not into some of the things that I see and I do on that level, then you won't understand. But if they're going to cut out a lot of these government funding programs and stuff like that, then they should stop the taxes too. You should stop the taxes because that's what your money go to. Come on, Bear fan.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that because okay, you got the one side that's the transitional living facility part. So that's the one thing. The other part is, actually doing the transition. And I know here and actually in Wisconsin too. Well, I don't know what Trump doing because God knows it probably ain't no money left. But they had limited funding at the beginning of the month for stuff like rent, security deposit, stuff like that. But I had told somebody to go down there, and she said that, oh, I know what, they run out of money real fast, so they obviously ain't got that much money. I don't know how much money they have, but yeah, it was. I told her to go down there on the 1st of the month, and I don't know, maybe she didn't go on, but by the time she got down there, they had ran out of money. So but it starts over. I don't know if that's just how they're doing it, but every 1st of the month, they take applications for housing. Help with security, rent, eviction, any of those type of things. They'll give money, but it seems like it was kind of scarce. Just because of the number of homeless people. It's like, shit, y'all ran out of money that fast? It's not enough. It's not enough for all the, you know what I mean? It's not enough to fill the community need.
It's enough. But what they do, and keep in mind, what I do, I don't get state or government funding to go to show you you can do things without them. But the money is there. It's just they will hold it back, but they will still give out so much because you can't completely stop it no matter what. You have to take care of people. That's their jobs. But that's their way too of trying to scare the public. Now, once again, and this what bothers me, and I said I'm gonna stop doing that. Because Bear, when you deal with certain people, and when I say that, I'm saying our politicians, right? When you know certain ones that actually in control of the funding that will give certain places money when they say they don't have it, that's when I come in and I'll go to them for certain things. But the only reason why for me, Bear, that I did not want to get government funding because I did not want them to try to control my business.
Yeah,
See,
but what I'm saying is, well, the funding wouldn't the funding that I'm talking about, it wouldn't go to you. It would go to like say like you were talking about the person that had 2 months and the landlord wanted 3.
right.
So like it's called urban ministry. Urban ministry or any of these places, they would write the check out straight to the landlord.
Right. Now,
so
let me.
You're not even involved in that.
Let me go there. Let me go there. I love what you just said.
Okay.
Did you hear me say earlier how a social worker wrote me a check for this family for the month of May? She wrote it to my business, right? To me, Steve Copeland. She wrote it to me. But now, remember when I said I was looking for her because now I'm seeking just what you said. I'm seeking somebody as far as in social service that knows where the funding is at. So when she did that, she opened the door for me to see how we can get, say, like somebody's stuff paid for 6 months. And then, I got the permanent landlord, right? So he's already getting funding, but just to show you on a temporary basis, they paying me. He already getting the funding to bring him into his stuff. So they have to qualify for the funding that he had. If you understand where I'm going at. Now,
okay, I see what you're saying. So he already got set up where because I have a friend who has a upstairs apartment, and she does that too. She gets